Back here on Region Football Weekly, getting you set for week number 9. And as we get to the end of the show, you know what time it is. It is our games to discuss. Of course, the man that sits next to me every week, he's doing pretty good this year. 15-5 overall. You know what the red lights mean. It's decision time. He went 3-0 last week, so definitely going. That's 2 undefeated weeks for you, Mike. You had the 5-0 week, I believe, 2 weeks ago, and of course 3-0 last week. So 15-5 overall. We're going to do 4 games this week. We'll give you a little bit more of a challenge. 3 games. We'll let you off the hook with that one.
That's fair. That's fair.
So our first game is going to be one of our bubble teams in Drain at Lowell to the Inferno, a battle of blue bloods. For both teams, I guess I should say, trying to get some momentum going into postseason. For Drain, they've lost a couple of games in a row. They lost to Hanover Central last week. And of course, Chittard 2 weeks ago. Trying to get back on track. I believe it's going to have to come from Ballantyne because the quarterback, he's been the leader for Drain, but it's not easy to go to Lowell, especially when these two teams, like you say, it's a battle at the end of the year, every year. Usually it's for something more than just a win or a loss, maybe for a title or, but for this one, it's kind of like bragging rights in a way.
I'm thinking about it, man. We looked at the weather a little bit. It's supposed to rain all week.
Yes, it is.
And I think this is going to be kind of a run game. And Lowell, it's a nasty place to play in a rainy environment. Okay. The Inferno is one of the best, I'd say, most scariest places to play, at least I've experienced. It's not a fun place to play being on the road, especially with all this rain coming down. And I thought about it. I think Andrain was kind of. I know how big they are on the pass. Scotty Ballantyne, again, one of the most prolific passers in the area in Andrain history, which is saying a lot. And he's got the receivers to reel in those passes. Jimmy Finley, Jones. They got all the guys over there. But I don't know. I think with the rain coming down, I initially said Andrain. I got the Lowell jersey here. I think I'm going to go actually with the Devils.
Wow.
I switched it up. I just told Jack at the break, we got the red here. I'd like Andrain, but I just thought, the rain coming down, Andrain hasn't really found their run game that much. They haven't found that guy to pound the rock like the Drake Bowen of last year.
Yeah.
They just handed him the ball and go get me 5-6 yards. But now Lowell, I think that they're built on the run, and I think with this weather that we're having, I think they're going to win this dogfight. I say they win by. It's going to be another close matchup like they always have. I'm going to say they win by 3. The Devils. I know I switched it up on you a little bit, but I'm
switching it up on me. But Mike Dewan goes.
I'm gonna go with the Devils.
Lowell Red Devils, the home team.
The weather plays in their favor, and being at home of course they're both grass fields, Andrain and Lowell, but I think they get the job done in the sloppy weather they're going to have.
Our second game features a top 10, the Calumet Warriors. We're going to go play the West Side Cougars. For Calumet, a team, I guess I say for both teams, really catching heat at the right time. But for Calumet, rough start to the year. Now they've kind of gotten back on track. And for the West Side Cougars, or I should say RBU, the number 9 team in our RSN top 10, we know the rushing attack they have. But for Calumet, they just beat a team with a heavy rushing attack in Griffith. So they're going to kind of have to face the same thing. Now, Westside probably has a better rushing game than Griffith, but it's still expecting the same run offense. It's going to be one of those ground and pound games. They're going to try to kill the clock as much as possible. And, we've seen Calumet win a game like that.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit chippy, I think. It's going to be a good game. Again, I think a great rivalry game that's kind of coming up in the GSSC. Calumet, I'd say, definitely more of a balanced offense. They're going to spread the ball around a little bit. They got the big players to do that. But Westside, I think they've had so much success running the ball. They're going to be at home. I think they're going to be juiced up, ready to go. I know Calumet's won the past 2 and the only 2 meetings against each other, but I think this is a different year. So I'm going to take the Westside Cougars. Orange,
yeah, it's a little.
That's a little tough to see.
Maybe we can make it darker.
We promise that is there.
A little bit. Yeah, it's a little light, but
I'm gonna take the Cougars here. I think they got the running game to do it. Giuseppe Moore, Amar, and Yalber. They're again two guys that could really beat you with their legs, and I think they could do that again. And again, they're gonna kind of be scoreboard watching. We're gonna talk about the Griffith Wheeler game in a little bit, but it's been a good year for Westside, and I think they keep it up on Friday at home.
So another home team for Mike Dewan. We'll see if he picks another home team. It's a top 10 matchup in our RSN rankings. Number 6 Michigan City goes to Bulldog Stadium to face off against the number 1 Crown Point Bulldogs. Michigan City playing some of their best football, including Jaden Hart, the Syracuse commit running back. Of course, Crown Point, like we talked about, all the road wins they've had in a row, all the regular season wins they've had in a row, all the DAC wins they've had in a row. I mean, this team is as impressive as it gets, not just this year, but for the past years. It's going to be hard for Michigan City, but I do believe this is going to be a lot closer than your usual Crown Point home wins, because when people go to Crown Point, that's when things get a little out of control. I don't know. Crown Point's only played one probably 4-quarter game at home. That was Valpo. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I think the starters have only played one half and every other home game for them. Yeah. So I don't think that's the case. I think that the starters will have to be out there all 4 quarters. I believe this is probably going to be a 2-score game. I can see it being like 35-21. I think this is a Michigan City offense that can really spread things out, but this is also a Crown Point team that we know can make adjustments, one of the best head coaches in the area, and a lot of senior leaders who are being celebrated, especially, like you said, the Clark brothers, Landon Delich. A lot of their key players are seniors, and I mean, you can speak on it, obviously, as you're a former high school football player, that it means more no matter what your record is, no matter who you're playing, no matter what's going on. The win on your senior night, it's something you will remember. It's something that you take a lot of pride in, and I think that's the case with Crown Point, just because how strong their football program is and how strong their support is from the Crown Point faithful.
You got it. I mean, even if you're lucky enough to maybe get a scheduled home game in the playoffs, it doesn't really hit the same. Senior night is
the flowers. You have your family.
Your family's walking you out on the field. I get chills kind of thinking about it. It's a sad night. I mean, it's bittersweet, of course. You do it with the guys that you've probably been playing with for years and years, and it's kind of that last chapter of the book of your senior year, just about for many, and it's. I think I'm going to ride with the home guys again. I think you mentioned that there's the CP red here, but you mentioned that it's going to be, I think, a close game. I'll say I think the weather, again, it
does play.
With 2 high-powered offenses, you may have to resort to the running game a little bit more. And I think Jaden Hart of Michigan City with Xavier Williams, who did not play against Crown Point earlier this year, I think Jaden Hart's probably the best player Crown Point's going to face all year on the offensive side. So they got to really key in on him. City, I think the keys for Crown Point, first and foremost, they got to get off to a hot start. I think Chesterton was the slowest of their starts as of probably this whole year. Miscues all around, turnovers left and right. I think they got to turn it down, tone it down against a solid City team. But as great as Crown Point is on the road, I think they're probably even better at home, and they've shown it this year. And I think they do it again. I think it's going to be a close game, like you said, but I'll take Crown Point I'll go 10 on this one.
Top 10 matchup. Now time for our final game to discuss. It's one of our game nights built by Von Tobel. Griffith at number 8. Wheeler, we talked about how a Wheeler win really gives them some type of accomplishment they haven't had in a while. It's really big for them just because, this team, like you said, started from the bottom. Now we're here. I mean, that's how they've been.
Jersey.
That's, 0-3. Now they're 5-3. GSSC South title with a win, first since I believe 2015. I believe.
Check our notes.
Nick Testa, his first year. Yeah. We have Bryce Compton, the receiver. This is a team that's really well balanced. On the Griffith side of things, this is a very young and experienced team, but they are playing a lot better than people expected. And Jackson Lawson is a beast. You want to talk about a guy who really can put a team on his shoulders, literally, and run the football? It's Jackson Lawson. I mean, last week, he scored every point for Griffith last week. He had 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. Griffith only had 15 points last week. 133 rushing yards, I believe, 26 carries. He's been the guy. Can't forget about Colton Strezzo, the quarterback, another guy to defense. Drew Ellis is one of the guys. He's had an impressive year, a junior as well for Griffith. It's going to be a test because it is a decent drive for them as well. You're kind of going near that Valpo area, not downtown, but it's kind of near like Deep River Water Park.
West side,
just about
like
over there.
Four Seasons.
Yeah, like the Four Seasons area. So for Griffith, they've got a lot on their hand, but for Wheeler, you're at home, brand new stadium. I mean, it's the first year they're playing under it. And they feel really good about themselves. We talked about how this 5-game winning streak isn't just close wins. They're dominating competition. And one of those wins on that 5-game winning streak was against one of our top 10 teams, the Boone Grove Wolves. And we've talked about weeks how impressive they are and how hard it is to beat them. Well, the Wheeler Bearcats have done that. And we know that they can pass the ball and they can run the ball. And I'm excited to see this one because you have 2 different types of offenses. We talk about Griffith, they're going to ground and pound. But for Wheeler, the aerial attack has really come alive for this one.
Yeah, you got it. I think although it's week 9 and senior nights are being celebrated all over, the area, I think this could very well be a junior night. These are two of, again, like we said earlier, the better junior teams in the area. Griffith, again, one senior. Wheeler has the 3-headed backfield and offensive backfield of Klimzak, Ortiz, and Compton, who are all juniors. But it's going to be a fun one. I think the weather, again, pending, it benefits Griffith. I say Jackson Lawson, again, tuning out to be one of the best junior running backs, maybe just running backs in the area, if not the conference. But Wheeler's hot right now. And, again, I think them being at home, they're kind of a different beast as well. They beat a solid Boone Grove team at home, and I think they get off to a hot start again. And I'm going to go with Wheeler, who wins their first division title. Oh, we're going to go with the Wheeler green.
We're going to go green. We went orange.
We
went orange with Westside. We're going to change the colors a little bit.
Don't get it twisted. The Wheeler green here, they're going to win on their senior night. And again, Nick Testa caps off a magical regular season, I think, for Wheeler. Griffith, I think they got to keep it close. We're going to talk about probably the keys to the game when we get there on our kickoff show tomorrow. But it's, again, Wheeler start hot. Griffith, you got to chew the clock a little bit. You can't let Wheeler get too far in front of you. And Wheeler can't get caught up in the moment. Again, emotions are riding high. There's a lot to play for. A lot of teams are banking on your defeat. A lot of division teams are scoreboard watching you, I bet. And it's all eyes are on you that night. Close out the year and, again, cap off the worst to first campaign. And, again, we're happy to be there. It's one of our game nights built by Von Tobel, and it's our first game covering there at their new field. That's going to be a fun one.
It's our first time we're doing a game of Wheeler and Griffith. We haven't streamed any of those teams yet, so I'm sure both of those teams will be excited. And I know we are very excited just because Griffith, always fun to see them play. Phil Mason, one of the best head coaches in the area. Of course, like you said, Wheeler with the magical story, the magic that's going on for that school with Nick Testa in his first year. I'm really excited to see that team play just because it is a beautiful football field. And with the lights, it's one of those football fields that's in the middle of nowhere. So it's like almost like a field of dreams kind of atmosphere. You got middle of nowhere, but you got the bright lights, you got the field, and you got the fans there.
If you build it, they will come, they say. So.
And they built it, and they have come. And we're coming.
We're coming. We're there. So.
We're coming for the first time this year. I'm really excited. Once again, one of our game nights built by Von Tobel. That'll be a video broadcast, of course, as we're concluding today's Region Football Weekly, week number 9. Mike, any final words before we wrap things up on this Thursday night and get everyone ready for Friday night football?
Week 9, man. Bundle up. Stay dry.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of rain in the forecast, but again, let's have some fun. I say this kind of every week, but take it all in. It's senior night for a lot of these home teams out here that are maybe haven't celebrated. I know some schools do it in the earlier parts of the season, but take it all in. It's fun, but then once the ceremony's over, it's time to play some ball. So we're expecting a lot of good games this week, and it's the regular season already. It flies by just like that. So it's been fun over here, but let's have a good one.
Absolutely. A big thank you to our executive producer, Chris Ramirez, our operations manager, Rich Castillo, our coordinating producer, Claude Martinez, our producer, Zach Zanelli, Mike Dewan, always sitting right next to me. And, of course, a big thank you to you, all the viewers or listeners, for watching and listening today's show and all the shows that we've done over the year. It's been a blast, talking football with everybody of the Region Sports family, and we hope you've enjoyed these shows over the course of the past months. But we're not done yet. We're going to keep going on through postseason as well. But this edition of Region Football Weekly will conclude in our Sentier Bank studios as you're watching this on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Game Night in the Region, built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, streaming worldwide on the internet at facebook.com/Region Sports, youtube.com/Region Sports. regionsports.com, and ihsaatv.org. We come to you tonight from the Brickyard on the campus of Hobart High School as Von Tobel presents the Highland Trojans taking on the number 5 Hobart Brickies. I'm Leo Stauder. I'll have the play-by-play for tonight's game, and joining me with the color analysis is Josh Huddleston. Good evening, Josh. It's a rainy night for football here in the region, but we got 2 conference foes setting up for a pivotal Week 9 matchup.
Yeah, if you're it's Hobart's senior night tonight, and if you're a senior, not exactly what you want on your senior night, this cold, rainy day, but you know, when you start thinking about football in October, you start thinking of inclement weather, and that's exactly what we have tonight.
Kind of one of those nights where it proves what you're made of, that when you're practicing in the Midwest all season, you have to deal with adverse weather like this, and it can really make or break you sometimes when the conditions are stacked against you.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach Osika down there on the field before the game, and we were talking about the weather, and I said, as a player, you don't mind if it's raining as long as you're playing in the mud on real grass. But here at the Brickyard, it is turf, so you get the rain, you get wet, but you don't get the mud and the fun. So it's a little different.
So for Hobart, they are 6-2 on the season, 4-1 in conference, 4-0 here at the Brickyard. They're coming off a big win last week, hoping to stack things in the right direction. They defeated Morden 65-38. And they've been led all season by their dual-threat quarterback, Johnny Sorensen. For him and the Brickies tonight, they're looking to try to keep the winning ways rolling.
Yeah, you know what, Johnny Sorensen, senior night, being honored. He really has a lot of the intangibles that you look at. He can move the pocket. He puts a lot of pressure on the defense when he does move the pocket with that dual-threat run pass. They do a lot of zone read options with him, and he could throw the ball to one of his favorite targets, TJ Caldwell.
Caldwell with 12 receiving touchdowns on the season. He has been a very solid target for the Brickies, the senior wide receiver. He's joined in the backfield by Willie Shearer as well with 16 rushing touchdowns. So this is a Hobart offense with a lot of playmakers to choose from for their quarterback.
Yeah, we earlier in the season we called them the Air Force offense. You got Johnny Rockets at quarterback, Willie the Jet Shear at running back, and the offensive line I've been told is the runway, plowing the runway for those guys to make those plays. It's been exciting to watch. They're an electric offense, and they can move the ball and score from anywhere on the field.
And for Highland on the visitors' side, coming in at 3-5 on the season, 1-4 in conference play. They're trying to get back on track after a 49-12 loss to Kankakee Valley last week at home. They're 2-1 while playing on the road this season. For them, they're just looking to try to get back on the right track, try to play spoiler against Hobart on their senior night.
Yeah, you know what? Highland's one of those gritty teams. They've played well in spurts, and they've also shown glimpses of greatness where when they've been able to put drives together, defensive stops, and go out and win games. So tonight is going to be an interesting matchup with the weather. This tough, gritty team from Highland. So we're in store for a great game tonight.
Highland's been led by their quarterback, Blake Vanek, the senior, with 543 rushing yards and 657 passing yards. Another dual threat matchup at the quarterback position for these two teams. Both quarterbacks can get it done with their legs or their feet as we get ready to look at tonight's Four Seasons weather forecast as soon as I can pull it up here. But the weather being a big factor here tonight as it's a cold, rainy day. Or the Economy Electric Heating and Cooling Friday Night Forecast. The Friday Night Forecast is brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Tonight's forecast is about 53 degrees. It's going to be rainy as well. You can see the lights all in full effect here, so it's going to be a difficult conditions to play with here, but that's the Game Night Forecast brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. As we get ready to step aside, we'll be back with more pregame analysis in just a moment. You're watching Game Night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Update your kitchen or bathroom with Von Tobel. Get 20% off select cabinets now through October 28th. Von Tobel has cabinets and vanities in a range of styles and colors. Plus, built-in storage, countertops, and flooring. Our designers will help you find the perfect selections for your style and budget. Scan to visit VonTobels.com today to book your free consultation at one of our 4 Indiana showrooms. Von Tobel, building better together.
Quintel Incorporated is a family-owned and operated company located in Northwest Indiana that specializes in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers. Since 1994, Quintel has been handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country. Equipped with the most modern technology and advanced tools, Quintel provides top-notch service. When you trust Quintel for all your needs, you'll get peace of mind and a finished job that exceeds your expectations. For more info about Quintel and the services they provide, visit quintel-inc.com.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903. Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Welcome back as Von Tobel presents Game Night in the Region right here on the Region Sports Network. Von Tobel building better together. As we're getting ready for kickoff here, we'll get a look at some of the starters for these teams. It's time for today's starting lineup, sponsored by Gladish Law Group. Gladish Law Group, they're here to help. Action, not words. So with the Hobart offense, they'll be led at quarterback by Johnny Sorensen and his running back Willie Shear. And in the backfield as well, Aiden Cash will be joining him at fullback with TJ Caldwell and Zach Bloom at receiver. The big linemen up front will be from left to right, Patrick O'Connor, Josh Diaz, Aiden Olage, Luke Jarris, and Jackson Ray. They'll be opposing the Highland defense of J.J. Kirk, Christian Campbell, and Aramis McNutt at defensive line. And at the linebacking core will be Dylan Zum, Jason Alanis, Josh Hubbard, and Nick Johnson will be at the linebacker positions. And the secondary will be led by Avion Wilson, T.J. Subkowski, Jason Lawrence, and Mark Dale. So those are the offense and defense of Hobart versus Highland. And then flipping things over, the Highland offense at quarterback is Blake Vanek. He'll be joined in the backfield by Jason Lawrence and Josh Hubbard. Nick Johnson is at tight end. Javi Castillo is at wide receiver, as well as Hunter Subkowski. Offensive line is from left to right, Adam Camel, Lynx Bennett, Ian Celestin, Nelson Franco, and Kobe Durr. They will be facing off against the Hobart defense. The Brickies will be led up front by Andreas Castillo, Maurice MacArthur Jr., and Andrew Martinez. Bradley Gibson, Zach Bloom, and Jared Hansen make up the linebacking core. And in the secondary, the Brickies will be led by Jacob Ramirez, Cale Schossler, Willie Shear, and Aiden Leonard. So those are the starting lineups, and that was your starting lineups for tonight's matchup, brought to you by our friends at Gladish Law Group. Gladish Law Group continues to be recognized by U.S. News and World Report as a top law firm. Visit theladishlaw.com for more information, and we'll keep getting you ready for kickoff here at the Brickyard. You're watching Game Night, built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
How far would you go to relive another Friday night under the lights? Well, lucky for you, you don't need to go that far at all. At Region Sports Network, we have a collection of over thousands of games, ranging from last week to the 1960s. Now, you can relive the thrilling victories, the heartbreaking defeats, and all the things that make Friday Night Lights so great. Talk to us here at RSN and help us remember the region. Please visit Remember the Region with the link on the screen or through our link tree found on our social media platforms. Hashtag Remember the Region.
When life takes you places and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack and Van Til to go. Our to-go service is easy to use, and it can save you time and money. Once your order is in, our own Strack and Van Til team preps your order with care. For delivery or pickup, enjoy the convenience of letting our to-go team shop for you. Enjoy your special moments. Sign up online today at shop.strackandvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals, and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Growing up in Northwest Indiana, I am proud that my family's been doing business here for nearly 100 years, which started with my grandfather, John Gladish. Over my career, I've witnessed families being torn apart by the negligence of others, and everything from unguarded openings at construction sites to reckless driving on our roads. Our experienced attorneys, paralegals, and staff know that insurance companies and their lawyers will go to great lengths to avoid paying compensation. Do not waste your one and only opportunity to seek fair compensation for your loss. Give the Gladish Law Group a call and put our team to work for you.
Since 2000, Hose Connections in Hammond has been a premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop offering quality hydraulic and pneumatic products and services. Hose Connections takes pride in not only meeting but exceeding customers' expectations. To learn all about the products and services that Hose Connections offers, visit hoseconnectionsinc.com or call 219-844-6570. Hose Connections in Hammond, proven under pressure.
Welcome back as Von Tobel presents Game Night in the Region right here on the Region Sports Network. Von Tobel, your local building materials supplier and design center. Visit vontobel.com to find out more. Leo Stauder and Josh Huddleston with you here at the Brickyard, getting ready for this matchup between Hobart and Highland as we're getting ready to go over some keys for the game. So for the host, the Brickies on senior night, what do they have to do to try to get back in the win column this week?
Yeah, the Hobart, a team looking to make a long run in the playoffs. One of the keys tonight is to get things going, but stay healthy. In Indiana, everyone makes the playoffs, so everyone will advance to the first round of the playoffs next week. And this is one of those games, the weather, the rain, you want to make sure that your team is firing on all cylinders, but you want to make sure that you stay healthy. So the key for the Hobart Brickies tonight is to stay healthy.
And for Highland, a team that only put up 12 points last week in a loss, what do they have to try to do tonight to try to build off of what they did last week and build on a positive note going into playoffs?
Yeah, exactly what you just said. If you're Highland, you want to come out, you want to get things going and get some momentum going into the playoffs. You want to be able to show some film to some other teams and help them or get them to prepare for a lot of different things. So if I'm Highland tonight, the key for them is to get some momentum going into the playoffs.
As the teams are getting ready to take the field, we're just moments away from the coin toss here. You see the Brickies with the American flag getting ready to sprint out. The Trojans starting just to stew about right under the bleachers. It's going to be a big atmosphere, and here come the Brickies marching onto the field. Purple uniforms, purple jerseys, purple pants, and the gold helmets. Always a sharp look.
Yeah, it's one of those games. As I was saying earlier, if you're a football player, you love the rain, but you want the rain with the mud. There's no mud. You'd rather have it 70 and a nice cool breeze.
Right, especially later in October, you can never really quite get the perfect atmosphere on game night, so you just kind of have to make with what you can. And we'll see if that affects how the teams use the passing game too. We're assuming it's probably going to be a very run-heavy game due to these wet conditions.
Well, you play football in the Midwest, you got to be able to do both. If you want to make a run in the playoffs, you got to be able to put the ball in the air and throw it in inclement weather. That's what you're going to get in the Midwest. That's what you're going to get if you're deep into October and then maybe even early November. You gotta be able to do all of those things. So tonight will be a good primer for both of these teams to see, hey, what can we do in inclement weather? Can we throw the ball in the rain? Can we throw the ball in the wind? So tonight will be a test for both teams, both offensively and defensively.
As the Hobart captains heading out for the coin toss, Johnny Sorensen being joined out there by Luke Grasnow, as well as Zach Bloom and Anthony Nilo as the Brickies.
Yeah, Luke Granzo is an Air Force commit, which is pretty exciting. A long snapper for the Bricks. He's one of those kids that put the work in, and you see him in the offseason putting the work in, and the Air Force rewarded him with an athletic scholarship to go play.
Always a big deal getting to play at one of the service academies. Hobart has won the toss, but they have deferred to receive the kickoff at the second half, so their defense will hit the field first, pending this kickoff, as we'll step aside when we come back. It's the Trojans, it's the Brickies, and it's next on the Region Sports Network. You're watching Game Night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When life takes you places and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack and Van Til to go. Our to-go service is easy to use, and it can save you time and money. Once your order is in, our own Strack and Van Til team preps your order with care. For delivery or pickup, enjoy the convenience of letting our to-go team shop for you. Enjoy your special moments. Sign up online today at shop.strackandvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
You're watching RSN Game Night presented by Von Tobel. Von Tobel with locations in Valparaiso, Schererville, and Michigan City. Check out vontobel.com to find out more. We are just waiting for kickoff here at the Brickyard. The Brickies ready to kick it off to the Trojans here. You can see the ball is on the tee, so let's get ready for some Friday night football. Xander Langford getting ready to kick it deep. Trojans have Avion Wilson and Jason Lawrence back deep to return. Runs into his kick. It's in the air, drifting towards the 10-yard line. Caught around the 5. He'll move towards the sideline. This is Lawrence with it, and he just shimmies his way into the Highland sideline. So the Trojans starting off with some decent field position right around their own 30.
Yeah, you know what? Hobart's had some struggles on their kickoff game, so Highland was able to squirt down the sideline and put themselves, looks like a little at the 24-yard line, and we'll kind of see what the cat and mouse game is tonight with the inclement weather and how Highland plays it and how Hobart plays it on defense.
So we'll get ready as Vanek comes out onto the field. He'll be in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. He's joined in the backfield by Lawrence. takes the snap. This one's bobbled. It's on the carpet. Teams are diving on it. There was a miscue on the snap. And the Brickies take over. So that was a quick turnover for the Hobart defense. One play, and they are already getting the ball back.
We talked about it, the weather playing a factor in the game, and we're already seeing that. That was a bobbled, went right through the quarterback's hands. He bobbled, he tried to give it to him, and put the ball on the turf. So if you're Highland, obviously that's not what you wanted. But they also realize that Hobart's going to have those same struggles with the ball as well.
So we'll see what the Brickies can do taking over on the Highland 25-yard line for the Trojans. That was certainly not the start they desired, as now they're setting up for Johnny Sorensen and company to take over deep in their own territory, unable to really get a play going. So Sorensen, with Shear behind him, takes the snap, hands it off to his trusted running back. He bounces forward, rumbles up for a few yards, and is brought down for a gain of a few yards there.
When you're a running back and you're carrying the ball in this type of weather, your cuts are different. Everything is different because you're trying to hold the ball with two hands as opposed to one. And so we'll see a little different running from Will Shear as ball security becomes a priority over yardage.
That'll make it 2nd and 6 from the 21-yard line. Sorensen puts a couple players in motion. Bloom moving on the left side. Takes a snap, hands it off to Shear. It's a keeper instead. Sorensen has room as he turns the corner, and he marches his way to the end zone. So the Brickies score. It only took 2 plays. They're up by 6 right away here on senior night.
Yeah, what a great zone read, and that's what happens when you have a good running back in Will Shear. The entire defense went his way. Johnny pulls it out of his belly, runs around the outside for a 24-yard touchdown run.
11 minutes, 5 seconds to go in the first quarter. The Brickies already up by 6. Now they get ready for the extra point. It'll be Xander Langford. He's 33 of 40 on PATs this season. The snap is up. He kicks it, and it goes through the uprights, so that'll put the exclamation point on the touchdown drive. Just like that, Hobart up by 7 here in the first quarter. Highland will be looking to respond now.
Yeah, it's always good to see seniors scoring touchdown on senior night. Obviously you want to go out there and do what you can as an offensive unit, but it's good to see get those seniors touchdowns on their special night tonight.
As the teams get ready to take things back over, we get ready for a Quintel kickoff. This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, specializing in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers. So here come the Brickies, energized on senior night. Sometimes on a special night like that, like this, especially with high school kids, your mind might wander, might be elsewhere. It's hard to keep focused when there's a lot going on with the pregame ceremonies, but the Brickies look to be like a well-oiled machine right now.
Yeah, you got your, typically on senior night, you got your obviously your parents that show up, and sometimes grandparents and relatives to come out and kind of honor you on your last regular season game. After this game, you don't know how many games you have left as a football player, and some of these kids won't go on to play college, some will, but there's something special about playing with your friends and classmates that you grew up playing with your whole life.
So Langford gets ready for another kickoff here. Wilson and Lawrence back deep to return. This one floats down near the end zone, and Lawrence will try to return it. He is brought down with a big hit there by the Brickies. They were ready for him. That was number 44, Logan Peters, with the hit. So now the Highland offense looks for a do-over here. Yeah, anything has to be better than that first play they had where there was the miscue on the snap, allowing for the fumble recovery for the Brickies. They're just looking to string together some positive plays now.
Yeah, ball control will be a premium tonight.
So the Trojans in the gun here. 2 running backs joining Vanek. Takes the snap, hands it off, and that'll just be a slight gain there, about 2 yards there for Lawrence. That was Wilson on the carry.
Yeah, you start talking, when you're in a game like this, special teams and field position, they all matter because fumbles and turnovers are going to happen plenty tonight. So, ball control, and you see the running backs covering the ball up, not trying to make too many cuts, just getting what they can yardage-wise.
2nd and 6 from their own 24. Vanek takes the snap, hands it off. Wilson just rumbles forward for a couple yards. They're bringing up 3rd down in about 3 yards here for the Trojans.
It's not like the NFL where you have, multiple sets of balls that you can rotate in and out. Typical high school teams only have a sleeve of them, so they get wet. You're trying to dry them. You got, putting it under the old poncho, trying to keep them dry.
Right.
It's a challenge.
2 running backs in the gun with Vanek. Brickies creeping towards that line. The hard count. Did they jump? There's a flag. Both teams pointing at the other. We'll see who just moves back. This will be a false start on the Trojans, so that'll back them up 5 yards. Make it 3rd and 7.
If you're Highland, when you're playing a team, you just had 2 great positive plays, put yourself in 3rd and manageable. You got to limit the mental mistakes if you're going to be able to move the ball and put points up on this Bricky defense.
And it really does change what you wanted to do here on the 3rd down play. When it's 3rd and 2, you could run one of your basic run plays, possibly to get that. Now at 3rd and 7, you have to think a little bit more as they put a tight end in motion. Vanek is joining the backfield, and it's another high snap. He's rolling left, just trying to avoid trouble, and he is swarmed and brought down by the Brickies for a sack.
Yeah, once again, we're looking at the weather playing a factor in this. That he was lucky to maintain possession of that ball. It kind of went through his hands, and he was able to tip it up and catch it himself. And we're seeing how the weather is making an impact early on in this game.
Gibson was among one of the first Hobart defenders in there on the hit, setting up for 4th and 13 from their own 17. It'll be Tristan Shadowan to punt for the Trojans. Steps into it. This one sails to about the 48-yard line. It's caught, and now the Bricky's going to try to return it, but eventually he's brought down. That was Bloom on the return, tried a couple moves, and the Brickies now take over in Highland territory.
Yeah, kudos to Bloom there. Typically in weather like this, you're just trying to get away from the ball. You don't want to risk catching it, but it was a low liner, so Bloom was able to come up under it and get a little positive yardage there.
Yeah, and especially in the rain, it's hard to see sometimes with the lights, too, to return. We saw the viral video this week of USC practicing the return in the rain where they had the coaches spraying the players with those hoses. I'm not quite sure if either team tried that tonight, but it makes it difficult to return punts, and Bloom did a pretty good job with that. As the Brickies back on offense here, Sorensen and Shearer in the backfield, and it'll just be a handoff to the running back Shearer, and he moves forward for about a yard there.
Yeah, Nick Johnson on Highland, he's an absolute stud on defense. He's leading the team in tackles. He's everywhere. He's a big body, 6'4". He's hard to block. He's just has 117 tackles on the season, and he's just one of those players that if you're Hobart, you find out where he's at all times.
So 2nd and 9 from 38. Sorensen's rolling to his right to pass. He floats one downfield looking for Caldwell, and he catches it for a touchdown. The Brickies put another score on the board. Big strike downfield to Caldwell. He hauls in his 13th touchdown of the season. He had 3 touchdown receptions last week, and now he's already getting his way onto the score sheet here with 7:57 to go in the first quarter. It's 13-0 Hobart.
Yeah, that was a kind of, we talked about it in the pregame, is just Johnny's ability to kind of move the pocket, and that creates more time for the defensive backs to try to cover a receiver, and able to throw a ball pretty well in the rain. So kudos to Johnny Sorensen and Caldwell.
Langford's kip goes through the uprights, so that makes it 14-0 for the Brickies, and we'll step aside. You're watching Game Night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Have you checked out Center Bank's student checking account?
This no-fee checking account is perfect for students and teens ages 14 to 24 and comes with all the features you need to succeed, such as a debit card, digital banking, and automatic deposit. Sentier Bank can help you start establishing good spending habits today for your better tomorrow. For more information, visit Sentier.com/student-checking or visit your local branch. If you are under the age of 18, your parent or guardian must also sign on the Sentier student checking account. At the age of 25, your account will automatically convert to the Sentier checking account. You must deposit $25 to open this account. This account is not eligible for overdraft advantage. Member FDIC.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at forajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
You're watching RSN Game Night presented by Von Tobel. Von Tobel, building better together. This is another Quintel kickoff. This and all kickoffs are sponsored by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. Langford runs into his kick. This one sails over to the near side. Caught by Wilson around the 10. He's going to try to power forward, but he is spun and brought down around the 18-yard line. So the Highland offense comes back out on the field after a couple less than stellar drives. They were looking to get something positive going.
Yeah, now this is one of those drives where you kind of, if you're Highland, you just got to collect yourself. You got to take a deep breath and look to put something together. You want to make sure that you're able to have a drive in this weather. They had success on their two running plays. Look to go back to that and just develop a little bit of momentum, pick up a couple first downs, and maybe try to punch one in the end zone here.
So two running backs joining Vanek in the backfield. He's going to keep it himself. He rumbles around to the left side, brought down at the line by the Brickies.
They're having success running the ball up the middle. You gotta stick to that, and they gotta limit the penalties and obviously the bobble snaps. If they're able to do that, they're having some success moving the football here early on.
Make it second and 3. So from the 25-yard line, looking to build off that positive running play. And as we mentioned, Vanek, the senior, a pretty solid rushing threat as well. Coming in tonight, he will roll right, looking downfield. The pass, he just dumps it off to a tight end, but it is through his hands, incomplete.
Yeah, he'll probably lose those gloves. When gloves are great when they're dry, but when they're wet, they sometimes create. It's slick, almost like a slip and slide for the people at home. That it just goes right through it. So, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes those off and tries to, go barehanded.
Nick Johnson was the intended receiver. He's a threat on defense, also gets in the mix on offense as well. Just couldn't quite haul that one in there, so that's still 3rd and 3 from their own 25. 7:10 to go here. Vanek in the gun for the snap. He's going to hand it off, but he is swarmed at the line by a host of Brickies for a loss on the play.
Yeah, just a run right up the middle. Hobart was ready for it. Good penetration by the defensive line and was able to tackle him for a loss. Hobart's linebackers are walking up to the line of scrimmage, and they're really challenging Highland to kind of have to throw the ball in this weather.
So that'll bring out Trishan Shadowan for the punt. He gets ready as there's a whistle blown there. Some flags on the field. We'll see what that brings. There'll be a 5-yard penalty on Hobart, so that'll move it to fourth and about 1. Probably won't change the strategy for Highland. Punt team looks to stay on the field. They're getting things settled here.
It's close to a first down. It might change Highland's decision here.
Yeah, we still see the punt team for now. And they will stay on the field.
We're going to have to reach out to the Hobart Athletic office and see if they can get some windshield wipers on
these
on these booth windows up here.
Highland takes a timeout here. Yeah, it's rainy up here. Everybody's got to deal with the slick conditions, even us.
Yeah, right. We need some windshield wipers up here.
As we'll step aside, you're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. And now the Trojans going for it on fourth down. Vanek's going to keep it himself. He pushes forward. It's going to be close. As he was.
Looks like Hobart was able to get the stop. That's kind of looked like a little bit of a rugby scrum there. And, they're giving him
And they're going to give him the first down, it appears. There's a Trojan player down, injured on the field. So we will step aside as he's attended to. You're watching Game Night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I've received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship, the best hands in the business.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Welcome back as Von Tobel presents Game Night in the Region right here on the Region Sports Network. Von Tobel building better together. And after that sneak by Vanek, that was a first down, and it was brought to you by Four Seasons Mechanical in Merrillville, your Northwest Indiana heating and air conditioning specialists. So the injured member of the Trojan offense helped off the field, and we'll be getting set up here for 1st and 10 from the Highland 28-yard line. So the Trojans were able to string together a couple nice plays, benefited from that penalty that the Brickies took on special teams, and were able to get a first down and are trying to march their way up the field.
Yeah, that penalty on Hobart put them fourth in inches, and they called the timeout and elected to go for it, and it benefited them.
So Vanek and Wilson in the gun. Vanek's going to roll right, looking to pass, scans the field, then floats this one into the Hobart defense. Nothing doing there, so he just threw it into the sideline rather than trying to make a throw in dangerous areas, so that'll keep it 2nd and 10.
They came back to that flood concept that they threw to Johnson earlier on in this drive when it went through his hands. That when they came back, Hobart defender floated back to his zone, and that's where Vanek wanted to go, but Hobart defense took it away, and a second option, he just floated it out of bounds to live to fight another day.
6 minutes, 19 seconds to go here. 2nd and 10 from the Highland 28-yard line. The Trojans trail by 14 here as Vanek puts a receiver in motion from left to right. He's going to fake the handoff, keep it himself as he's rolling to the left. He's running out of real estate, and he just runs into his own sideline, maybe gaining a yard or two there, but that was blown up from the start by the Hobart defense.
The challenging part in weather like this is the passing game becomes so limited that the defense are able to pin their ears back and just come and challenge offenses to prove that they can throw the football. And that's what we're seeing from the Hobart defense. They're coming up and just challenging Highland to throw the football.
That's a really good point, as we saw Sorensen connected on that one pass earlier, so you kind of have to respect him in the pass game. We're yet to see that from Vanek, as he takes the snap. He's looking to his right now. He throws to the left over to Johnson. Johnson gets forward for a couple yards there, but he's hit hard by the Brickies. That was Gibson with the big hit.
I tell you what, that was a great play on both sides of the ball right there. Highland set that screen up perfect. The tight end screen to Johnson, and Gibson, the middle linebacker, that's is playing right there in the middle, came past, recognized it, retraced his steps, which is what you're taught, and made a great tackle. So that's one of those football plays that you're like, wow, both teams did a really good job on.
So on 4th and 6, the Trojans were just punted away. This one doesn't get too much distance, bouncing at first at the 48-yard line, then taking a roll into Hobart territory, be down right around the 46. So the Brickies will take over close to the 50-yard line, hoping to get another score on the board with 5:28 to go here in the first quarter. Sorensen and company looking to just keep the good times rolling here, as we saw they had the rushing touchdown earlier, then the long passing strike. They're feeling confident here in front of their home fans.
We talked about it in the opening about the Air Force offense, and the rain will not ground these flights tonight.
So now here's Sorensen. He's got Shear behind him, 3 receivers out to his left. Now he puts his running back in motion, looking downfield to pass, and it's a screen over to his left to Shear. Shear makes one cut, gets past the line of scrimmage, rumbles forward, and he gets pushed into the Hobart defense. That looks like it'll be good enough for a first down, so the Brickies keeping the chains moving here.
Just a simple swing pass over to Shear. It's one of those in-between plays. Haven't seen Hobart run that all year, so it's pretty impressive here tonight.
That's another Four Seasons first down. You can visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com. Sorensen takes the handoff. Now he'll just keep it to his right. He turns the corner. He's got some space at the 30, gets to the 25, and he's pushed out of bounds. So a good keeper there by Sorensen, faking the handoff to Shear. Fooled a lot of members of that Highland defense and gets another Four Seasons first down.
That goes down on the stat sheet as a first down in a long run by the quarterback. But what's not on the stat sheet is Aiden Leonard out there just blocking and blocking. He engaged the defensive back, and he blocked him all the way down the field. So kudos to Aiden Leonard there for receivers blocking downfield. If you got receivers blocking downfield, that's a good sign for your offense.
It really helped extend that run play there. Turns a short gain into a long gain in a lot of circumstances. And now on the first down, they're going to hand it off to Shear. He makes one cut as he's at the 15-yard line, brought down just past the 15 for another big running play. So the Hobart offense is firing on all cylinders, picking up another Four Seasons first down.
Yeah, it's nice to have two running backs. Hobart has, we call him Lightning, Willie the Jet Shear, and then you got the Thunder with Max Pickett coming in there and picking up a big gain there, rumbling down to right around the 10-yard line.
So Sorensen takes the handoff. He's going to keep it himself along the left side, getting just near the 5 before going out of bounds. Another positive rushing play. That'll make it 2nd and down. That was first down from the 11-yard line. So about 4.5 minutes here. The Brickies are within close range of the end zone.
It's so hard to defend the read option because, the defensive end goes unblocked, and it's quarterback's discretion to pull it or give it. And Johnny's making all the right reads tonight.
So the ball pops loose there as Pickett's brought down, but it looked like he was already down. Or that might have been, I think that was a Hobart helmet I saw that went flying. But short gain, bringing up 3rd down here, 3rd and 5 from the 6-yard line. Sorensen and the Brickies get the play. Now they march forward towards the line of scrimmage. So we're getting close to the 4-minute mark here in the first quarter. So Sorensen has Pickett behind him. Put the tight end in motion. Takes the snap. Hands it off to Pickett, and Pickett just dances his way into the end zone. It's another touchdown for Hobart. They're going to increase their lead to 20-0 with 3 minutes 49 seconds to go here in the first quarter. The Bricky offense has been so smooth here, and they get another scoring play there.
Yeah, Hobart's been able to show that they're able to run the ball and pass the ball tonight, but their running game has proved to be pretty dominant early on here.
So now it's another PAT attempt for Langford. Be Bloom with the hold, Grasnow with the snap. The kick is up, and it has the distance. It goes through the uprights. That makes it 21-0 for Hobart. Big scoring drive there. We'll be back when Highland tries to get back on track here. You're watching Game Night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. You're watching RSN Game Night presented by Von Tobel. Von Tobel, your local building material supplier and design center. Visit vontobel.com to find out more as we get ready for another Quintel kickoff. This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. Langford has the ball in the tee, approaches it, and this one's just going to skip its way down, and it's mishandled, but the Trojans sticking with it now. He's rolling out to the right. He's got some space at the 40, at the 45, brought down at the just near the 50. Javi Castillo with a long run, picking it up, mishandled it a bit, but then was able to make something out of nothing there on a big special teams play. That could be just what Highland needed.
Yeah, sometimes when the balls hit the ground on kickoff, the kickoff team gets a little excited to get a little bit out of their lanes, and they try to go get the ball, and that's kind of exactly what happened right there. And they had a slew of blockers out in front of him, and now they're in great field position.
So taking over at their own 49-yard line, the Trojans back on the field. Vanek in the gun, two receivers split out, one to the left, one to the right. Two tight ends on the field. He's going to fake the handoff, being pressured by the Brickies. He's rolling left, going to keep it himself, and he gets past the line of scrimmage and gets a couple more yards there. I think that was drawn up as a passing play, but he just had to roll out of the pocket and try to get a positive play there.
Yeah, Hobart's just pinning their ears back, and they're just bringing the house here. They had two guys free off the outside, but kudos to Vanek for being able to escape the pocket, and then he put a little pressure on the defense with the ability to run it past. So the corner had to sit on his man, and Vanek was able to get a positive gain. So that was a pretty savvy play from Vanek there.
And Vanek coming into tonight's contest is the Highland leading rusher with 8 rushing TDs. He's thrown for 6. Takes the snap here. He's rolling right. And he loses control of it. Going backwards here. Has to dive on it. It was an odd play there. I'm not sure if he was looking for either a player to pitch it to on the option or looking downfield to pass, but he just had to dive on it and try to keep it away from the defense.
Yeah, that's a tough play to run here in the rain. That's like an RPO without the running back. So he attacks the line of scrimmage, and if the defenders come, he throws it out here. We've seen it work successful at the college level, but here in the rain, that's a challenging play to perform and execute.
So now it's 3rd and 14 from their own 45-yard line. After they got good field position on the kickoff, the Trojans have gone backwards now. Vanek in the pocket to pass, hanging in there, avoids a hit and just slings it downfield, and now there will be a penalty there as he was looking downfield for his receiver, Castillo, and some penalty flags go flying.
Yeah, he kind of the pressure was barreling down on him. He threw the ball, and it's hard to make good deep throws in this rain. And his receiver had to come back to it, and he had to come through the defender, the Brickie defender there, which caused the flag. Those are one of the hard plays for a defender to try to cover because the receiver's coming back. So it's a challenging play.
It'll be pass interference on Hobart, moving the chains up. And sometimes, too, the quarterback, you got someone in one-on-one coverage like that. Try to throw it in his direction, hope for that penalty call, especially on a third down play like that. So the Trojans benefit from that. It'll be first down from about the 40-yard line. Another 4 seasons first down, 4 seasons mechanical, your Northwest Indiana heating and air conditioning specialists. As Vanek is alone in the backfield, he's got Johnson nearby. They're putting Wilson in motion. Wilson's going to take the handoff on the jet sweep as the ball pops loose. It's on the floor, and the Brickies look like they pounce on it. Wilson on a good play on the sweep. Lost the ball as he was brought down, and now it's the Brickies emerging with the ball there. Looked like Zach Bloom recovering the fumble. So the Hobart offense comes back onto the field.
Yeah, it was Wilson's first time touching the ball tonight. So, in these wet conditions, I keep mentioning it because it's different when you're carrying the ball. Every play like Vanek is, he's settled in since the first carry he had, and the running backs have kind of settled in. But when you get a new guy introduced to the ball, it changes the dynamics of the game of the play a little bit because they haven't ran with the ball in the rain yet, and they haven't been hit with the ball in the rain yet. So we just saw kind of a product of that right there.
So now Hobart takes over 1st and 10 on their own 32. Sorensen hands it off, and the running back just swarmed and brought down for a loss there. Nick Johnson leading the charge there, getting to Pickett for the loss. Johnson is just a force on that defensive front for the Trojans, playing both ways. He was All-State in 4A last season, and he gets a tackle for loss there, his 12th of the season. Sorensen takes a snap in the gun, looking downfield to pass. Flings it over to his left, and it's hauled in by Caldwell, who just gets to the sideline on a positive gain there. Caldwell, 83 receiving yards and 3 receiving touchdowns last week, has a receiving touchdown as well tonight.
Yeah, that was a good coverage by the defense and good blocking by the offensive line for Brickies. Sorensen had a long time there to throw the ball.
So now it makes it 3rd and 10. Sorensen dropping back to pass. He's rolling right. He's got a defender on him. He turns the corner at the line of scrimmage, speeds forward, comes up short of the first down, but a long run there. Sorensen just on the scramble there to get a positive play and make it 4th and short. It looks like the Hobart punt team will take the field here.
Yeah, it was just a kind of a rollout. It was kind of had some open receivers, but maybe uncomfortable with the grip he had on the ball, so he just elected to tuck it and get as much as he can.
That's the first time the Hobart offense has come off the field without scoring, so a big stop for Highland. And it's now Langford out to punt. Takes the snap, trots into it. This one just sails on over, bouncing inside the 35 and takes a couple skips out of bounds. So Highland will be looking to have a clean drive here. They've had a couple fumbles that have been recovered by the Brickies, so they're trying to march down into enemy territory and try to put points on the board here with 1:48 to go in the first quarter.
Highland's been able to show that they've been able to run the ball between the tackles when the snap's clean and the handoff is clean. They've tried to go to a couple different plays here, but, they should just go back to just putting the ball between the tackles and just challenging the teeth of this Hobart defense.
And so here they go from their own 25. It's Vanek in the gun. Awaits the snap. He gets it now. He's rolling right. Pitches it over to Wilson, and the ball hits the ground again. Wilson just watched that one slide through the mitts as he was under pressure as well. The Trojans trying a bit of a speed option there, and it did not go the way they drew it up.
Yeah, speed options in the rain are tough. There's a lot of variables. The quarterback's carrying the ball kind of like a He's carrying it out in front of him, not securing it, and then he's got to turn and pitch it to the running back, who's also got to catch it and secure it. So speed options in the rain and this kind of weather is extremely challenging.
Oddly enough, the Trojans did get a positive gain on that. Now Vanek takes a snap. He's going to try to roll out to his left on a run, but he is brought down by the Brickies. So I think that 1 yard gain they got on the last play is negated as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage here to bring up third down.
Yeah, we're looking at the Hobart defense right now, who's just pinning their ears back and just challenging the Highland Trojans to throw the football.
Be about 3rd and 11. Minute 14 to go here. Haven't seen too much in the passing game from the Trojans. This is a big moment for their senior quarterback to try to step up. Takes a snap. He's dropping back. He's being pressured by the Brickies, and he just throws it into the sideline. His closest receiver was his tight end, Johnson, but he was unable to make that play, just trying to get it out of trouble, avoid the sack. So that brings up 4th down and the punt team for the Trojans.
Yeah, I mean, he just ran out of real estate over here, and he was trying to avoid the sack by continuing to drift back, which made the throw a challenge to throw on the run in the rain back to the line of scrimmage.
So Shadoan back for the punt, or to kick it off, and then it'll be Bloom to return for the Brickies. Bloom signals for the fair catch, hauls it in just inside the 50, right around the Hobart 48-yard line. So here come Sorensen and the rest of the offense to try to put another score on the board here. So for the Brickies last week, they found themselves trailing in the first half. They were down 21-10, ended up winning that game by a large margin. They have not had that similar problem tonight. They forced a fumble on their first defensive play and were able to just run some really good scoring drives and now find themselves in the driver's seat here in the final minute of the first quarter.
Yeah, it's these rainy, inclement weather games are a challenge. You know, the flow to them never seems to be there. You know, you got turnovers, bobbled snap, drop balls. It's a challenge.
So Sorensen takes the handoff. He's going to keep it himself. He rolls out to the left. He's being chased down by Johnson, and he is tackled into the Hobart defense. So nice fake handoff there, and then just keep it himself. But there is a flag right around the 50-yard line. It's going to be going backwards here. That seems to be on the Brickies.
Yeah, kudos to Johnson on that play. I watched him the whole time. He was getting blocked. He fought through the block, fought through another block, and then chased down the quarterback and made the tackle. He is an absolute gamer.
Yeah, he has been one of the key players for this Highland defense all season long, trailing back into last year. So the Brickies backed up here with about 40 seconds to go. It'll be a long first down at the 40-yard line. They need to get it into Highland territory to get a first down. Now there's another whistle as Sorensen has a running back behind him. Takes the snap, drop back to pass, and Johnson's in the backfield, but he's shrugged off by Sorensen, who's now rolling right, still looking downfield. He's going to keep it himself and get there for a positive rushing play. So just as we talked about Johnson, how dominant he's been, Sorensen was able to shake him off and roll out to his right for about 5 yards there.
Yeah, it's always impressive to see a quarterback kind of a sitting duck, they call it, when linebackers blitzing and you're there looking downfield. And he was able to escape the pocket there, keep his eyes downfield, and pick up some positive yards.
So 2nd and 11 after the 6-yard gain by Sorensen from their own 46. Sorensen hands it off to Pickett, and he just storms forward on a big gain there, making it 3rd and manageable for the Brickies. As the clock winds down here at the end of the first quarter. 10 seconds to go, and Hobart will snap it. Pickett keeps it, gets the first down, and is brought down. So the Brickies challenging Highland, running one last play before the end of the quarter.
Yeah,
and
Hobart
get the first down.
They like to run that quick offense, so it's not uncommon for them to be able to snap the ball, within 10 seconds of the play ending. They run a pretty good hurry-up offense.
So that will do it for the first quarter here. Through the first frame of play, it's Hobart 21, Highland 0. You're watching Game Night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
For over 100 years, Burns Funeral Home and Crematory has been assisting families in their time of need. Serving Northwest Indiana, the staff at Burns Funeral Home will help guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony. From a simple to elaborate, to traditional or unique, the caring family at Burns Funeral Home will tailor a ceremony to fit your needs. And for your other loved ones, Burns Funeral now has a pet cemetery and crematory. Visit burnsfuneral.com or give them a call at 219-942-1117. Welcome to Public Bar and Rec, located in downtown Crown Point, a place for good games, good drinks, and good food. So come in and make it public. Try to survive zombie dodgeball, score a hole-in-one playing golf, or choose from over 13 multi-sport simulator games while fueling your competition with a variety of appetizers, entrees, and beverages. We have games for all ages with our family-friendly hours till 9 p.m. Reserve your simulator at publicbarandrec.com and let the fun begin.
You're watching RSN Game Night built by Von Tobel, building better together. As Sorensen hands it off to Pickett, who storms forward for a couple yards. As a reminder, Langle's Pizza has been a favorite spot since 1979. Enjoy pizza sandwiches and more. Dine in or carry out. Langle serves Northwest Indiana from their 3 locations. Order online at langlespizza.com, the official pizza of the Region Sports Network. Sorensen takes a snap on 2nd and 9, throws it out to his right to Caldwell. Caldwell tries to extend the play, is eventually brought down by Castillo out of bounds on a big passing play there. He was able to extend it into a first down, another Four Seasons first down, Four Seasons Mechanical. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com.
Just a little quick and pitch between Johnny and TJ Caldwell there. The DBs from Highland are respecting Caldwell's speed, so he's got a lot of open grass there to work with.
Makes it 1st and 10 from the Highland 28. Sorensen puts tight end in motion. Hands it off to Pickett, who muscles forward for a couple of yards, making it 2nd and about 8 yards here.
There's Nick Johansson again. That kid can play. He's all over the field, number 40 for Highland. He is leaving it all out on the field tonight.
The senior has been making his presence felt, trying to keep his team in the mix here. Playing on both sides of the ball is always noticeable. 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. 2nd and 9 from the 27. Sorensen floats it downfield, and the receiver can't quite make the grab. Popping out of his hands at the last minute. That was a nice strike downfield. Hobart had Leonard wide open, and Leonard had just to go diving forward and had it initially, but then when he hit the turf, that's when it popped out.
Yeah, it's hard to be looking up at those high balls in the rain. You're trying to, you're focusing, and sometimes when you're wide open, those are the absolute hardest balls to catch.
So now after the long strike attempt, it's 3rd and 9. They're going to hand it off to, or it's going to be a keeper, Sorensen, fooling me here as he goes out left, brought down near the Highland sideline, just near the 20-yard line. Going to be short of the first down. We'll see if the Hobart offense stays on the field here.
Looks like they're going for it.
Make it 4th down. Sorensen has about 4 yards to go. It's a low snap. He handles it. Rolls left. Now he keeps it going right. Throwing on the run. Gets it to Caldwell. Caldwell gets it inside the 10. He pulls one juke, but he loses his balance and gets tripped up just inside the 5-yard line. So a good play by Sorensen, scrambling, extending the play, avoiding the rush. He had Christian Campbell, the defensive tackle, in the backfield, but was able to find Caldwell downfield, who made a nifty move and was just a few yards away from another touchdown.
Yeah, that's what Johnny Sorensen can do for the Brickies, is extend those plays, and receivers are able to work their way open, and that's exactly what happened there.
1st and goal now for Hobart. Sorensen takes the snap, hands it off to Pickett. Pickett lunges towards the end zone, and he gets it. That's another touchdown. Brickies add 6 more. They're ahead 27-0 with 9:54 to go here in the second quarter. This time it's Pickett getting into pay dirt.
I'll tell you what, once again, nice run by Pickett there, almost. But Johnson from Highland almost had him again. That kid is absolutely everywhere.
So Max Pickett, the sophomore running back, getting the bulk of the carries tonight. Puts his team ahead 27-0 now, awaiting the PAT from Lankford. Bloom ready for the hold. Grasnow with the snap. Lankford's kick is up and good. It's 28-0 for the Brickies. They're up by big here. You're watching Game Night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
For over 50 years, family-owned Bud Insurance Agency in Hobart has been providing insurance services and protection to Northwest Indiana. With protection provided by Auto Owners Insurance, Dave, Bob, and Mike can custom fit a policy to meet a person's needs. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Bud Insurance treats each client with personal attention, making your visit a pleasant one. Stop by 615 West 3rd Street in Hobart or give them a call at 942-1028. And you can always visit them on the web at budinsagency.com.
Family owned and operated since 1969, Holiday Rent-A-Car offers a wide variety of newer model cars, vans, and SUVs. Free local customer pickup and drop-offs are available. Debit cards are accepted. Restrictions apply. All rental cars are for sale. Financing is available. Located at 3709 West 37th Avenue in Hobart, Holiday Rent-A-Car is open Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays. Call 219-942-8561 or visit them on the web at holidayrentacar.biz.
Welcome back as Von Tobel presents Game Night in the Region right here on the Region Sports Network. Von Tobel building better together, and this is another Quintel kickoff. This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, specializing in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers. 9:54 to go here in the second quarter. Hobart up by 28. This one lofted to about the 20-yard line where it skips over to Wilson. Wilson cuts left. Now he goes right. He's got some space wrapped up around the 45 from behind, and there's a flag on the field. They might get him for a possible horse collar there.
Tell you what, those kickoffs to the corner are great until they're not, right? So what happens on those kickoffs is you kick it to the corner, the return team kind of sets up a wall. The returner came all the way over this way, and Hobart's lucky he didn't break that for a touchdown there. He had a lot of room to run.
So Highland with a pair of long kick returns weren't able to capitalize on the last one. They went backwards on their first couple plays. Now with the long kick return and the penalty, we'll see if they can capitalize on this one. They'll be getting the ball at the 48-yard line of Hobart. Some really good starting field position for Vanek and the Trojans here. Vanek alone in the gun, puts Wilson in motion. Wilson goes from left to right. Vanek takes a snap. He's looking to pass to the right. That one gets over to Castillo. Now Castillo's going to look downfield to pass. Gets it to Johnson. Johnson on the trick play is stood up inside the 20-yard line, brought down at the 19. So the Trojans getting tricky with it and are able to get a long field passing play from Castillo down to Johnson.
Getting tricky with it. I like it. It's a Will Smith reference there.
Yes, sir.
What a great play. The Hobart coaches are arguing that first pass was forward, borderline. But what a great play by the Highland Trojans in the rain. They were able to complete 2 passes, one backwards, and ultimately that one forward to none other than Nick Johnson.
So in the shotgun again is Vanek. He's going to fake the handoff to Wilson, but he is swarmed by the Brickies for a tackle for loss by Hansen. So the Hobart getting a big play to send the Trojans going backwards there. On first down from just about the 20-yard line. So that's a loss of 7. bringing second and long for the Trojans. So that's big for the Hobart defense after surrendering the long passing play. Next play up, they get a tackle for loss, setting up for 2nd and 17. In the gun, Vanek takes a snap up high, hands it off to Wilson. Wilson finds a gap, tries a hurdle move. Didn't quite work the way he intended it to, but still kind of got to go forward after that. And he's brought down close to the first yard down.
Wilson's quick, man. He hit that hole fast. He plant one cut and go. That's a great run. Play looked good. Vanek carried out a good fake there. Just that fake pauses the defense for a quick second, and it creates extra running lanes for the offense.
Bringing up 3rd and 2 from the 12-yard line. 8 minutes to go. Vanek has a pair of running backs in the backfield with him. He's going to hand it off to his running back, who just tries to fall forward. Stopped at the line by the Hobart defense. It's going to be 4th down. Looks like the Highland offense will stay on the field here. As they have the ball within the 20, are going to try to find the end zone here. So here they come here. 2 running backs once again joining Vanek. 1 receiver to either side.
You look for Johnson here.
Johnson, the tight end. They're going to just sweep it out to the right with Vanek. He's trying to follow his blockers, but he is wrapped up and brought down short of the first down marker. So it's going to be a turnover on downs. The Hobart offense gets ready to head back out on the field.
I like the play call, get numbers to the perimeter, but just a great tackles by Logan Peters there to get the offense back on the field. But I'll tell you what, the Hobart faithful came alive there. The fans here cheering, all their umbrellas, and came and braved the elements tonight.
As it's a pretty strong crowd here. Everybody's wearing umbrellas, ponchos, but they still showed up in numbers and made their presence felt there. 7 minutes, 9 seconds to go here as Hobart takes back over, 28-0. And a good job by the defense. After allowing a big play, they just stood tall and were able to get a big 4th down stop to end that drive. Sorensen hands it off to Pickett, and Pickett, just running through a couple would-be tacklers, gets a positive play there.
Any good running back coach will be happy with the way Pickett's running there, running behind his pads, not going down on first contact, falling forward. That's an 8-yard run, but that's a solid quality 8-yard run.
2nd and 2 from their own territory. It's another handoff to Pickett, but this time he stood up by the defensive line of Highland for a loss.
You were talking about the rain. I see a Cleveland Browns umbrella out here in the crowd tonight. That's brave.
Yeah, that's an odd call there. As not sure who that is, but they made a decision. They hand it off. It's going to be kept by Sorensen. He's rolling right, and met by a pair of Trojans at the near sideline. Sorensen faked the handoff to Pickett and then was brought down at the Hobart sideline. And I think there was also a flag on the play.
I think that's his yellow tape on the cleats.
Oh, I see there. Yeah, that throws you off a bit. And it's a 1st down nonetheless. Another 4 seasons 1st down for the Brickies. Sorensen takes the handoff, takes the snap, hands it off to Pickett. And Pickett stood up at the line for a slight gain there.
Highland's getting good penetration on their defensive line here. It's hard to move when it's wet, so the offensive line is giving up a little penetration, and Pickett's able to pick his points and get going.
Sorensen and Pickett once again in the backfield. And it's going to be a handoff to Pickett. He breaks through space. He's at the 50, gets to the 45, the 40. He's at the 30, crosses the 20, gets a block. He's got space at the 10, 5, end zone. Max Pickett with a long touchdown run for Hobart. His second of the day, making it 34-0. The sophomore going the distance on a long 75-yard touchdown run to add 6 on the board for Hobart.
Yeah, that was, I'll tell you what, that was a, Pickett, I watched him take the handoff. It kind of slid to his hip. He was able to regain it, hit the turbo button and right down the middle of the field. And kudos to Connor Stafford for escorting him into the end zone with some blocks. And what a great run.
You talked about earlier what a great job the Hobart receivers are doing at blocking on the run game. That was another example there as Langford's kick goes up and through the uprights. It's 35-0 in favor of Hobart with 5:23 to go in the first half. You're watching Game Night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
I'm Tim O'Brien, former Hobart Brickie and Northwestern Wildcat quarterback. When I was playing, I always wanted to be prepared for the unexpected, planning for what might come next. As a certified financial planner with Edward Jones Investments here in Hobart, I pass on that same philosophy to my clients. Planning for the future is important. The same goes for advertising. I plan ahead and turn to the Region Sports Network because they get the job done for me. And I, therefore, put my trust in them, knowing they are the only game in town. And go Brickies!
Granger's at the Clock Tower is a place to gather in downtown Hobart before or after a Brickies win. Whatever meal you are in the mood for, you can find it at Granger's. Owned by a Brickie family, Granger's also offers an aesthetically pleasing indoor setting, along with an outdoor section overlooking the beautiful Lake George. Check out one of Hobart's highest-rated restaurants, located at 437 East 3rd Street in Hobart, and they're open 7 days a week. Visit their Facebook page for daily specials and events. Granger's at the Clock Tower. A good time.
Welcome back as Von Tobel presents Game Night in the region right here on the Region Sports Network. Von Tobel with locations in Valparaiso, Cherville, and Michigan City. Check out vontobel.com to find out more. And this is another Quintel kickoff. All kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. Hobart up by a whole bunch here, 35-0. As they get ready for the kickoff here.
The Air Force offense, right?
Yeah, they've been scoring in all kinds of different ways. A reminder that connecting the first half and the second half of tonight's game, it's the Hose Connection Halftime Report, presented by Hose Connections, proven under pressure. As this goes back deep, and it's going to be returned by the Trojans. That was Angel Ramirez, the junior, getting some space, but he was brought down hard by the Brickies right around the 20-yard line.
Yeah, if you're Highland, you got to put something together here. They've tried a lot of things. They ran the trick play on the last drive, but they had a lot of success just running the ball up the middle, and they've gone away from that. They need to, I look for them to, I don't know if they're trying to put tape on film, put plays on film for next week, but they can have some success if they just go right at the teeth of this Hobart defense.
So Vanek and company back on the field. They're trying to get their first points of the ball game. Vanek in the gun, awaits the snap. Now he's dropping back to pass, scanning the field. Under pressure, near his own end zone, he just throws that downfield. The Brickies had a man in the backfield, and now there's going to be a flag. That might have been intentional grounding.
Yeah, it looked like there wasn't a receiver in the area, and it did not get back to the line of scrimmage.
Logan Peters was in the backfield there giving pressure, and Vanek just threw that one away in desperation, and that will back up the Trojan offense, putting them in an even less desirable position in their own territory.
And lost it down.
So we'll see exactly where the ball gets placed, but that is not what they were looking for here, as they are just trying to claw their way back into this game. They'll be second and very long. So the Hobart defense fired up after that penalty. Looks like the ball's going to be placed inside the 10, right around the 5. So now the Trojans have to be careful what they're running too. You want to avoid a potential safety if you're dropping Vanek back to pass and he gets sacked. That might add 2 points to the board. So 2nd and long from the 3. 5 minutes, 10 seconds to go here in half number 1. Vanek has a running back beside him in the backfield. Takes the snap. He's rolling out right. He breaks through, finds some space, makes a couple cuts, eventually tackled by a defensive back of the Brickies, but he's still got a long way to go for that first down.
Yeah, what a great play, though. I mean, when he took that snap, he was at full sprint, and he was able to hit a little gap on the right side of the Hobart defense and pick up that's a 10-yard gain there. So that's a pretty good play out of the shadows of your own goalpost.
Moving all the way up to the 13. So the dual threat quarterback getting it done with the run there. 4 minutes, 37 seconds to go here. 3rd and 18. Vanek, the snap is bobbled. He hauls it in, tries to throw it downfield. Yeah, he was just trying to avoid getting sacked in his own end zone there as he had to make a nifty move just to haul in the snap. And that'll bring up 4th down for the Trojans.
We'll see if Hobart puts on a punt block here. The last couple times they've kind of just set up a return, but with them punting out of the shadows of their own goalpost, it might be a decision for Coach Osika and company to try to see if they could get their hands on one of these.
This would be as good time as any to try to practice that play in a game situation as well. So now the punt. It's a low snap. And this one's going to be a low punt, taking the first bounce around the 25-yard line, and it doesn't get much further than that. That will give the Brickies the ball in a very good spot here deep in Highland territory. So 4 minutes, 19 seconds to go here as the Brickies take over. Looking to just find another strike on the board. Langle's Pizza has been a favorite spot since 1979. Enjoy a variety of menu items for dine-in or carry-out. Langle's serves Northwest Indiana at their 3 locations. Order online at langlespizza.com. Langle's Pizza, the official pizza of Region Sports Network. So here come the Brickies, Sorensen, and the rest of the offense on the field. It's a handoff to Pickett. Pickett has some room on the right side. He makes a cut, rolls out to his right, is tackled at the shoestrings by Johnson, just short of the end zone, but a long run by the sophomore there. He's having himself quite a ball game.
Kudos to Jackson Ray on that play, the right tackle for the Brickies. He went to the second level, picked up the linebacker, and Pickett came right behind him for a big gain. Jackson Ray is one of those smart, well-spoken kids. He's a great student and a great athlete.
So now it's 1st and goal. Sorensen takes a snap up high, hands it off to Pickett, and Pickett punches it in for his 4th touchdown of the game. Hard to keep track of all those scores for the sophomore. 41-0 Highland with 3:48 to go here in the second quarter. So have yourself a night for Max Pickett. He has been helping his team out tremendously as the Brickies look for the extra point to put the exclamation point on this scoring drive.
This drive was set up by a stellar defensive performance by the Brickies.
Absolutely. That great field position they got after Highland was backed up in their own zone. The extra point goes through, making it 42-0. You're watching Game Night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Centrally located in downtown Indianapolis, the Hampton Inn is just steps away from Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Situated at 105 South Meridian Street, shopping, restaurants, entertainment, and many Indianapolis attractions are in near proximity. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a gym fitness center. For reservations, the number is 317-261-1200. The website is hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
Von Tobel, you're watching Game Night on the RSN presented by Von Tobel. Von Tobel building better together as we get ready for another Quintel kickoff. Reminder that all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. We're 3 minutes, 48 seconds to go from halftime here, where Hobart is leading Highland 42-0. The Brickies just in a dominant performance here on senior night have put themselves in a good position here. Hobart 4-0 at home this season. You know, in a spot here to remain undefeated at home to close out the regular season. That's always something you take pride in. As there's a whistle on the kickoff. Some flags were thrown as well. See what that's all about.
Brickyard's a tough place to play for opposing teams. Hobart usually comes out and their fans usually come out and well-attended home games, and the crowd noise and the atmosphere. It's a fun place to play if you're the Brickies, but not so much fun if you're the opposing team.
Especially later in the season here when playoff implications on the line, when the hometown fans are fired up. As you flip the calendar into October, there just is that excitement in the air, and the Brickies seem to be playing with a little bit of extra enthusiasm in front of their home crowd.
On senior night.
Absolutely. This kick gets backed up to the 35. So Langford gets ready to boot it away. Takes a run into it. This one's going to low, shoots down to Castillo. Castillo handles it around the 12-yard line. Finds a gap on the left side, but he drops the ball. He lost it as he was bracing for that hit. And it goes into the Hobart sideline, so avoiding the trouble. But that's been a recurring theme for Highland, has been ball security. They have not been doing a great job of keeping it in control, and it's cost them deeply sometimes.
It's hard when it's raining. That ball gets slick. Especially at the high school level. I mean, it's a challenge. These kids aren't paid to hang on to the football. It is an extreme challenge.
So now the Highland offense takes over at about their own 33 with 3:41 to go. They're trailing by 42. Two running backs joining Vanek as that snap takes a hop out of his hands, hits the turf, and he jumps on it. Wilson also jumping in to secure it for the Trojans, so that's just going to be another loss there, but they avoided the turnover. They're just going backwards here, second and long.
Yeah, it's hard to. Like I said, that ball's it's slick.
So that'll set it up at their own 26-yard line. 3 minutes, 10 seconds, and counting here before the half. So for Highland, you want to try to put together a positive drive here. They had the one good drive, or the one of their bigger drives later or earlier in this quarter, but it did not result in points. So they're looking to get something building. As there's another flag, this one. Let's see just what exactly the call is there. Penalty's now waved off, so that
they're counting the Hobart defenders that they thought they had 12 on the field.
Oh, there we go. As still 2nd and 17. Vanek keeps the snap, rolling out right. There's a flag in the backfield as he is twisted and brought down hard, and another flag is thrown. So we'll get things all sorted out. So the first flag was thrown while Vanek was still running. The second was thrown after that big hit.
We got all kinds of stuff going on right now.
Lots of extracurriculars as the officiating crew just has to try to sort things out. So there's holding on the Trojans, a personal foul against the Brickies, offsetting penalties.
We liked it so much, we get to redo the down.
Right. Just keeps it at 2nd and 17 after all that commotion. 2:29 remaining in the quarter and the half. So here come the Trojans. Going to have a fullback in the backfield as well as a running back. It's McNutt joining Wilson. It's going to be a handoff to Wilson, and he speeds forward. Stopped just near the line of scrimmage.
Just a straight give for Highland. Looks like Highland's going to take their time.
And there's a timeout on the field.
There's an injury, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yep. We'll see as he's being attended to. Looks like he's getting up on his own, and we'll take a timeout as we get this all sorted out. You're watching Game Night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Update your kitchen or bathroom with Von Tobel. Get 20% off select cabinets now through October 28th. Von Tobel has cabinets and vanities in a range of styles and colors. Plus, built-in storage, countertops, and flooring. Our designers will help you find the perfect selections for your style and budget. Scan to visit VonTobels.com today to book your free consultation at one of our 4 Indiana showrooms. Von Tobel. Building better together.
And you're watching RSN Game Night presented by Von Tobel. Von Tobel building better together with just under a minute 50 to go in the half. It's 3rd and 16 from Highland's 27-yard line. Vanek gets his troops on the field. There's another whistle pre-snap. Highland will now take a timeout following the injury timeout to just sort things out on 3rd down. We'll keep it right here as Highland just looking for some positive plays. A reminder that coming up at halftime, the Hose Connection halftime report presented by Hose Connections, proven under pressure. And stay with Region Sports after the game as we send it back to the Centier Bank studio, where RSN will recap all of tonight's action from around the region, all from the Centier Bank studio. And you can follow all of tonight's region football scores live on the Strachan Van Til Hometown Scoreboard, streaming on Facebook.com/RegionSports and at RegionSports.com. Strachan Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. As we're at the Brickyard here, Leo Staudaher and Josh Huddleston with you as it's senior night in Week 9. Highland 3-5 on the year with a long 3rd down play to go here. So there's one running back, 2 receivers out to the left, a tight end on the field as well. It's a fake handoff to Wilson. Vanek's going to keep him himself, spins off one tackle, is stood off by a pair of defensive backs, and that will blow the whistle. So a long rushing play by Vanek on 3rd and long.
When they get a clean snap, things go well when they run between the tackles. They've had a lot of success running between the tackles on clean plays. When they start to try to get fancy doing jet sweeps and flood passes and speed options is when they've ran into problems. But really, Leo, when they've ran between the tackles, they've had a lot of success.
And especially with their senior quarterback, Vanek, he can get it done with his legs, and he looks confident with the ball. And we saw it on that play. On 3rd and long, he wasn't afraid, was able to make a move, avoid a hit at the line of scrimmage, and just keep going into that second line. When your quarterback's running with confidence like that, it can energize the rest of the team. So there will be another timeout called. This time I believe that'll be Highland's final timeout of the half, stopping the clock with 33 seconds to go before that halftime break. So they're just going to try to sort things out here. They got a long way to go still from pay dirt as they're in their own territory on their own 39-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, it's into the wind. I mean, I'm not sure, unless they could have a trick play drawn up, maybe a double move, hoping a defender falls down or something along those lines. But if you don't get it, you give Hobart the ball in striking distance. I think Sorensen can get it there from the 40.
It's 4th and 4.
I'm going to punt it.
And yeah, now the punt team is out on the field for Highland. Tristan Shadowan trying to flip the field here. He bobbles the snap. Now he boots it. This one taking the first hop at about the 44-yard line, rolling all the way inside the 35. And it'll eventually be downed at the 32. So that makes it a little bit of a longer try for Hobart, as they will try to work their way downfield with 20 seconds to go here on their own 32-yard line. With Sorensen and the rest of the first-string offense taking the field.
Yeah, we'll see what Hobart does with 20 seconds. So they just take a knee on it and go to the locker room. Looks kind of like that's the case. I don't see any coaches, Yeah. So it looks like Hobart's going to be content, 42-0, and take this into halftime.
Yep, Sorensen just takes that knee and allows the clock to run off. So we're through 24 minutes here at the Brickyard. It's Hobart ahead, 24-0. It's been 42-0. Had the numbers flipped right there, as it's been a big first half for the home team. So we will recap that first half and more. So stick around. You're watching Game Night, built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903. Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Update your kitchen or bathroom with Von Tobel. Get 20% off select cabinets now through October 28th. Von Tobel has cabinets and vanities in a range of styles and colors. Plus, built-in storage, countertops, and flooring. Our designers will help you find the perfect selections for your style and budget. Scan to visit VonTobels.com today to book your free consultation at one of our 4 Indiana showrooms. Von Tobel. Building better together.
Quintel Incorporated is a family-owned and operated company located in Northwest Indiana that specializes in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers. Since 1994, Quintel has been handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country. Equipped with the most modern technology and advanced tools, Quintel provides top-notch service. When you trust Quintel for all your needs, you'll get peace of mind and a finished job that exceeds your expectations. For more info about Quintel and the services they provide, visit quintel-inc.com.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialists.
How far would you go to relive another Friday night under the lights? Well, lucky for you, you don't need to go that far at all. At Region Sports Network, we have a collection of over thousands of games, ranging from last week to the 1960s. Now, you can relive the thrilling victories, the heartbreaking defeats, and all the things that make Friday Night Lights so great. Talk to us here at RSN and help us remember the region. Please visit Remember the Region with the link on the screen or through our link tree found on our social media platforms. Hashtag Remember the Region.
When life takes you places and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack and Van Til to go. Our to-go service is easy to use and it can save you time and money. Once your order is in, our own Strack and Van Til team preps your order with care. For delivery or pickup, enjoy the convenience of letting our to-go team shop for you. Enjoy your special moments. Sign up online today at shop.strackandvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Growing up in Northwest Indiana, I am proud that my family's been doing business here for nearly 100 years, which started with my grandfather, John Gladish. Over my career, I've witnessed families being torn apart by the negligence of others, everything from unguarded openings at construction sites to reckless driving on our roads. Our experienced attorneys, paralegals, and staff know that insurance companies and their lawyers will go to great lengths to avoid paying compensation. Do not waste your one and only opportunity to seek fair compensation for your loss. Give the Gladish Law Group a call and put our team to work for you.
Since 2000, Hose Connections in Hammond has been a premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop offering quality hydraulic and pneumatic products and services. Hose Connections takes pride in not only meeting but exceeding customers' expectations. To learn all about the products and services that Hose Connections offers, visit hoseconnectionsinc.com or call 219-844-6570. Hose Connections in Hammond, proven under pressure.
Welcome back as Von Tobel presents Game Night in the Region right here on the Region Sports Network. Von Tobel, building better together. Leo Stauder and Josh Huddleston with you here at the Brickyard where Hobart leads Highland 42-0, and you're watching the Hose Connections Halftime Report brought to you by Hose Connections on Kennedy Avenue in Hammond. Visit them on the web at hoseconnectionsinc.com. Hose Connections, proven under pressure. Josh, it was a dominant first half for Hobart. They were able to capitalize off of some early turnovers, and they've been able to score in a variety of different ways. A few different players getting involved on the score sheet here to lead this way to this 42-0 lead.
Yeah, we talked about it in the pregame. We talked about the weather playing a huge factor, and we saw that on pretty much the first play of the game for Highland, a fumbled snap where Hobart recovered. And then they were able to, Johnny Sorensen, 2 plays later, was able to go 22 yards for a touchdown run. And we've kind of just seen it all night long, trying to hang on to the ball. And just it kind of takes your offensive strategy out when you're pretty limited to just running a certain number of plays. You can't get guys out in space cutting because the field's wet. So we've seen tonight a lot of miscues with the weather, causing fumbles and dropped kickoffs and so on and so forth. So it has been a struggle for Highland to get anything moving on offense with a couple miscues, which has led Hobart to a pretty dominant offensive performance. Like we said, Johnny Sorensen got started with the 22-yard touchdown run. Hobart stops Highland 3 and out. Then they get the ball back. 38-yard touchdown pass from Sorensen to Caldwell, kind of on a play where he extended it. And it's hard for a defensive back to cover that long, and he was able to make a good throw in the rain. And then since that point forward, it's kind of been the defense that's just been inserting their will on the Highland Trojan offense, and then Max Pickett has just come alive, the sophomore Max Pickett, with 4 touchdowns, 1 6-yard, 1 4-yard, and then the big, long 75-yard touchdown run, and then he punched in a 2-yard touchdown run to get us to 42-0 right now.
And what's been helping the Hobart offense, too, has been their defense, giving them the advantage in the field position battle. They've been able to set up in some really good opportunities a few times here that's led to them to be able to get these clean scoring drives going based on where their defense is stopping Highland at.
Yeah, Hobart's defense is pretty much pinning their ears back and coming. We've been saying it all night because of the weather. Highland hasn't been able to prove that they've been able to throw the ball, so Hobart's been able to pin their ears back and come, and that's kind of what their defense is, just constantly in the Highland backfield, along with some ball handling issues that Highlands had. We talked about they were getting different ball carriers involved, and when it's raining outside, when one ball carrier is constantly carrying it, they know how to cover it up. But the first-time ball carrier getting into the game with it being wet is a challenge.
It's been a group effort for Hobart, and we'll see just how that carries over in the second half. When you have a big lead like this, and it's the week before playoffs, this is where you start to think about putting in your second string, getting some experience for some players as well. As you mentioned pregame, for Hobart now, a key is staying healthy going into the postseason.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, Willie Shear hasn't been featured in the first half, and I assume that's intentional by the Hobart offense, keeping him fresh for potentially what they're hoping to be a long playoff run. And so, as you alluded to, I assume that maybe the Hobart starters might have a series when they come out. Maybe if not, they might just start with the backups and see how the game progresses,
as we will get ready for that second half. So keep it locked in here. When we come back, it'll be second half between Hobart and Highland. You're watching Game Night, built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Have you checked out Centier Bank's student checking account? This no-fee checking account is perfect for students and teens ages 14 to 24 and comes with all the features you need to succeed, such as a debit card, digital banking, and automatic deposit. Centier Bank can help you start establishing good spending habits today for your better tomorrow. For more information, visit Centier.com/student-checking or visit your local branch. If you are under the age of 18, your parent or guardian must also sign on the Centier student checking account. At the age of 25, your account will automatically convert to the Centier checking account. You must deposit $25 to open this account. This account is not eligible for overdraft advantage. Member FDIC.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Welcome back as Von Tobel presents Game Night in the Region right here on the Region Sports Network. Von Tobel, your local building material supplier and design center. Visit vontobel.com to find out more. As we are just moments away from the start of the second half here at the Brickyard, where the Brickies lead Highland 42-0. Leo Staudaher and Josh Huddleston with you here as Hobart trying to keep on building off what they were able to accomplish in the first half, a well-balanced offense. And for Highland, they're looking to try to shake things off and get some positive plays going in the second half as the Brickies make their way back onto the field here. But it was a really good first half for Hobart as they were able to really establish the run game. Max Pickett picking up 4 touchdowns, and when they needed to then, were able to get the pass game going because they had that established threat of the run game, so it forced Highland to have to respect them in all kinds of different ways.
Yeah, Hobart has been firing on all cylinders on offense, even in the inclement weather and the rain. They have done a really good job of being balanced, and by and large, their defense has put them in positions to allow that to take place. When your defense is playing well, you're able to do a lot more things on offense, take a little more risk, maybe throw the ball when you typically wouldn't throw it. So, it's one of those situations where Hobart, just seems to be firing on all cylinders and having everything lined up and ready to go.
And now for Highland, as you're trying to get your way into the final or to the postseason push with a lopsided first half, what can they try to do to put something positive going forward into next week?
I think they just have to stay patient on offense. They're having a tremendous success running between the tackles, with the running back give and the quarterback, follow between the tackles. They've had success, on their second drive they had, 8-yard play, then they had a false start, then they had a 9-yard play, so they've had success running the ball between the tackles, and they just need to be able to just have the patience to continue to do that. The clock will be a factor here, and then for the second half, but they can start to establish themselves with some confidence if they run between the tackles.
And that's one of those things, too. You want to make sure you avoid bad habits. So if you keep getting that patience going and it can lead to good things, you're putting yourself forward on the right foot going into next week. If you start rushing the tempo, leading to mistakes, that's where maybe you don't have your cleanest game going in, and that makes you more things you have to focus on in practice next week.
Yeah, and, sometimes it's a little cat and mouse game. We said earlier, in Indiana, everyone makes the playoffs. So, sometimes these teams are just trying to put stuff on film to kind of show maybe the next coach next week, hey, be ready for this, help, kind of make them prepare for something that they may not see. So there's a little cat and mouse game within the game. So Highland may be trying to, put a little more things on film for next week.
Definitely, as we talk about that. I mean, you look at trying to prepare for a team like Hobart next week, you almost have to pick your poison with who do you prepare to cover. As we've seen, they have all kinds of different playmaking threats. TJ Caldwell had the 3 touchdowns last week. Hasn't had his number called that much this week, but he's been able to execute on the few plays where he has had to haul in a pass.
Yeah, surprisingly, he's been able to catch the ball with his hands. Typically in weather like this, you try to catch the ball with your body to kind of secure the catch, but he's got some strong hands. He's been able to stick his mitts out and catch the ball with his hands, which is pretty impressive. but it looks like the rain has stopped at this point right now. So we will see kind of what Hobart does and what Highland does here in the second half.
That is a welcome sight for sure as we're getting ready for kickoff here to start the second half. Hobart won the toss before the game. They deferred, elected to receive now in the second half. So they will be getting their offense out on the field, and we'll see just who that consists of as the Highland kick team gets ready to make their way onto the field. Hobart leads by 42. About as good of a first half as they could hope for. As the players just getting some final instructions from their coaches. The fans who braved the conditions in the first half, most of them have been able to put away their umbrellas, so that is certainly a welcome sight to see as they are sticking around for the second half, and we thank you for following along with us on the Region Sports stream here, and the Brickies getting ready to return the kick. The kick return team hasn't really gotten any reps so far today, so it'll be Caldwell deep to return. As well as Connor Stafford, so we'll see just what kind of kick return game they have as they anticipate the kick from Tristan Shadoan. Second half action getting started here at the Brickyard. Big lead for the home team on senior night. Everybody's fired up. So Shadoan gets the ball on the tee.
Looks like Hobart's quarterbacks, looks like Sorensen might be warming up, so he might be coming in maybe the first drive. We'll kind of see how Hobart plays the second half and what they kind of have in store.
And you still want to get reps. There's nothing that quite replicates in-game experience. This kick flutters over to the 30. It's hauled in by the Brickies, and he's going to return it. He's got some space, pushed out of bounds at the sideline of Highland. Aiden Leonard with the nifty return. Or there was Zach Bloom on the return, but he had
they pooch kicked it to that side, but they didn't have any kick coverage on that side. They had them all near the Hobart bench over here, and they kicked it to the far side, so he just caught it and just ran right up the field.
A bit of an odd decision there, giving Hobart good field position. So now we are getting ready to see who takes the field. It looks like Sorensen will be leading the team out there. Pickett joining him as well. So the first string offense getting some more action here. The clock is running now in the third quarter. So Sorensen has Pickett behind him. He looks left, flings it downfield. It's hauled in and brought down close to the chains. Anthony Hanila with the run after catch there.
Yeah, just a pitch and catch. It looks like maybe, they're coming out to try to get something going through the air potentially. Just kind of, get some momentum going.
2nd and 3 from the 39-yard line. Sorensen hands it off to Pickett. Pickett has some space. He rumbles forward. He's at the 20, the 15, now at the 10. He gets to the end zone, and he marches in for his 5th touchdown of the day. Max Pickett puts the Brickies on the board again. Huge run there. 39 yards for Paydirt makes it 48-0 for Hobart.
Tell you what, he's deceptively fast. I mean, he hit that second gear, third gear, fourth gear, and he was off to the races there.
Yeah, just with that boost of speed once he got through that first wave of defenders as we get ready for the PAT from Langford, but he has made his presence felt. Highland just trying to keep him at bay. They have had a tough job of that. Langford's kick is through, no good. That one just missed, so that keeps it 48-0 with about 9.5 minutes to go here. It's been a busy day for Langford and the PAT team, so that was the first miss they've had. As we'll see what Highland has dialed up out of the half.
Yeah, I mean, I assumed Hobart wanted to come out and do a little more on offense, maybe work some passing game, but Max Pickett said, no thank you, I'm going to take this ball and I'm going to go the distance.
Yeah, he had eyes on that one there, being able to find some gaps and explode upfield, and then weaved through some defenders and was just able to get in on the far corner of the end zone. Just a nice run for a long touchdown. He's had a couple of those rushes of 20-plus yards to get to the end zone and put Hobart ahead by a whole bunch here.
He's coming to play tonight.
Yeah, on senior night, one of the stars of the game has been the sophomore. That has to really make you feel more confident. If you can have two strong running backs going into the postseason with Shearer and now Pickett, that's a good problem to have, as the running game can be a strength, as well as a quarterback like Sorensen who can make plays in all kinds of different ways.
The Ron Dane, Tiki Barber, Thunder Lightning.
So here we go for the kickoff. Langford getting ready to tee it off again. Wilson and Castillo back to return for the Trojans. Langford takes a run into it, boots it away over in the direction of Wilson. He hauls it in inside the 10. He's going to try to return it. He cuts, he's swarmed and brought down by a pair of Brickies for a positive run by Castillo.
Let's see if Highland comes out and just tries to just run between the tackles a little bit. They need to make sure that they're able to run. Sorry, we're having a little technical difficulties here.
As the Trojan offense takes over, and it'll be still the first string in there, as Vanek is joined by a pair of backs in the gun. Secures the snap, dropping back, looking to pass. He's scanning the field to his right. He's going to float this one downfield for Johnson. Johnson makes the leaping catch at the 45. So
Yeah,
Nicholas Johnson.
He's an absolute gamer, man. He's one of those kids that, you're going to try to get the ball in his hands as many times as you can. You're going to try to get him, he's everywhere. He's on defense, on offense. Hey, there's number 40. Just throw him the ball.
He's all-state last season defensively, and now he's also a threat at the tight end position. Nice hands there, being able to go airborne and haul it in. That can be tricky when you give up with the leap to try to make that catch. So here's Vanek in the gun with Wilson beside him. Takes a snap, was looking left. Now he's going to roll left. Makes one cut at the line. Was wrapped up and brought down by Gibson.
Looked like a little mix-up in the backfield, and he was able to make a positive run there. Sometimes those plays are challenging for the defense because they don't know which way to go. They can't read their keys right. So positive run there, and Highland's on the move. We talked about momentum. We talked about being able to get something positive going, and here they are in the second half.
We've seen that too a few times from Vanek, where he's just able to make something out of a broken play and just get a few yards there. He got 3 yards on that play, making it 2nd and 7. And now the handoff to Wilson. Wilson's trying to roll out to the right, tries to push around a defender, and he's brought out down for about a 2-yard gain there.
Yeah, when they try to go on the perimeter, they're just not having the success. When they have success, it's between the tackles.
So it'll be 3rd and about 6 from the 42-yard line. For the Trojans, they're trying to move the chains and extend this drive.
The Hobart faithful's coming alive.
Nice to see so many fans sticking through the less than ideal conditions, make it to the second half here. Vanek bobbles the snap. Wilson jumps on it. So that's what we've talked about, a few miscues on the snaps for Highland, and that's going to be a loss for the Trojans.
I could tell you Vanek wanted to pick the ball up. He felt like he still had some time, and the running back dove on the ball, rightfully so, but Vanek was trying to pick it up.
So that'll send the punt team onto the field. So not much going for Highland on that first drive. About 6 minutes remaining here in the half, or in The quarter, I should say. Shadowin gets the snap, puts it in the air in the direction of Bloom. Bloom's just going to let it bounce off the turf. This one taking a roll inside the 10.
Good point.
Yeah, the Trojans let it roll inside the 5. That'll be a really good punt. I think just a little bit over the 5-yard line.
Looks like the Hobart starters are done.
So we'll see what the backups have in store. It'll be Alex Tatum leading the offense.
Looks like there's maybe still some Hobart starters out there at receiver, maybe, or.
Yeah, it looks like possibly is that Bloom still out there, but Tatum puts a tight end in motion, and there's a flag. One of these teams might have gotten a little too excited.
Offsides on the defense.
So that'll move the Brickies up about 4 yards here.
It helps Hobart there to get out of their own shadow of their goalpost a little bit.
So Alex Tatum, the freshman quarterback, in for the Brickies. Join in the backfield. 2 receivers out to his left, 1 to his right. They put Garner in motion. Tatum hands the snap, takes the snap, hands it off to his running back, who has just swarmed Nick Zato, the sophomore running back, just met by about 3 Trojans. Who else but Johnson in on the mix as well, leading the charge to bring him down for a loss.
Yeah, it's a challenge if you're, a younger classman going up against an all-state linebacker there. He took on 2 lead blocks and made the tackle in the backfield.
So now 2nd and about 8 to go for the Brickies here in their own territory. Tatum hands it off, and he is just wrapped up and brought down at the line. Once again, that was Zato.
So here's the challenge when you bring in the second string guys. Your special teams still remain the same. So, the guys on the sideline still have to stay fresh. You're looking at a 3rd and 8 here. So it'll be interesting what Hobart calls. Do they try to put the ball in the air? Do they continue to run it and then punt it away and play defense?
From their own 7, Hobart looks to the sideline to get the plays. 2 receivers out left, 1 to the right. Zato and Tatum in the backfield. Tatum keeps the snap. He's going to rumble out to the right, being twisted and brought down by the Trojans. That was Kirk, J.J. Kirk on the tackle there. So he's walking a little slowly after it, but a slight gain there, making it 4th down, and the Brickies will send the punt team out.
Yeah, it's a challenge because now the starter's got to run back out there and be on the punt team.
Looks like the Trojans will have a new punt returner. That'll be Zachary Garrett.
Looks like they got 2 guys back. I wonder if sometimes when they got 2 guys back, they set up a little trick play. We'll see what Highland has in store here.
So the Brickies getting ready to punt from about their own 12-yard line. It's Lankford. The play clock's dwindling, and the Trojans jump off sides. Got a little too aggressive as the play clock was starting to tick down. And that'll move the sticks up for the Brickies.
It looked like that was a design play. The long snapper, Luke Granzo, lifted his head, then put his head back down, and then paused for a second, and that caused the Highland Trojan defense to jump off sides, which extends their drive.
So here come the remaining offensive players for the Brickies. Tatum and Zato out there, a couple of receivers as well. Manuel Magana, the sophomore wide receiver, out on the right side, and a couple more out to the left. Garner in at tight end. Tatum, with about a minute 18 to go here, is the signal caller. Takes the snap, hands it off to Zato, who just pushes forward and is met by a few Trojans and brought down as there's a injured offensive lineman for Hobart.
Looks like he was able to get up. Hobart's taking their time. They're letting the play clock run all the way down before they snap the ball here. The clock is running. It is a running clock here in the second half, so Hobart's content with just allowing the clock to run down. And you see Tatum waiting till about 15 seconds before he even gets his team set up.
Yeah, with 15 on the play clock, 27 remaining in the quarter. So Hobart will have to run one more play here in the third quarter. Tatum anticipates it, keeps it himself, going out to the left side. He gets around the end, has some space, gets the first down, and then some. So the freshman picks up the first down, and that's another Four Seasons first down brought to you by Four Seasons Mechanical in Merrillville. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com.
Tatum's just one of those really good kids. He gets it done in the classroom, gets it done on the football field. Heck of a wrestler, just a tremendous kid.
And we will step aside. You're watching Game Night, built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
For over 50 years, family-owned Bud Insurance Agency in Hobart has been providing insurance services and protection to Northwest Indiana. With protection provided by Auto Owners Insurance, Dave, Bob, and Mike can custom fit a policy to meet a person's needs. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Bud Insurance treats each client with personal attention, making your visit a pleasant one. Stop by 615 West 3rd Street in Hobart or give them a call at 942-1028. And you can always visit them on the web at budinsagency.com.
Family owned and operated since 1969, Holiday Rent-A-Car offers a wide variety of newer model cars, vans, and SUVs. Free local customer pickup and drop-offs are available. Debit cards are accepted. Restrictions apply. All rental cars are for sale. Financing is available. Located at 3709 West 37th Avenue in Hobart, Holiday Rent-A-Car is open Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays. Call 219-942-8561 or visit them on the web at holidayrentacar.biz.
You're watching RSN Game Night presented by Von Tobel. While we were away, Zato took the handoff from Tatum on first down and was stopped in the backfield by the Trojans. Setting up for 2nd and 12 from the 31.
It's always good to see some younger kids get some live Friday night action. It's a little different than playing on Saturdays. The lights, the Friday night, the crowd. It's just a different feel to it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of nerves, too, getting in the big game, the varsity game. So to get that experience kind of sets you up well. If your number does have to be called upon later due to injuries or just whatever circumstances, it's good to get some experience. And for both teams on either end of this, as Tatum handles the snap, but there will be a few flags thrown to delay a game on the Brickies, so that will move them back 5 yards.
Took a little too much time.
Right, as they're trying to work the play clock down before they take their snaps. But with some underclassmen in there, sometimes it does take a while to get that snap off, so they have to maybe work on just getting it off a little bit quicker when they're under 10 seconds. But this is a learning experience for everybody, and they get to work through it here in the game setting.
The only way to get more fans here tonight would be if Taylor Swift would come up into the booth. She seems to be a big football fan for all the Swifties out there.
Been all over as Tatum drops back to pass. Now he's going to loft it downfield. He's got some room as he was looking for his man that was intended for Jordan Johnson, who went up to get it, but he had a Trojan defender right on him and just wasn't quite able to make that play.
After Johnny Sorensen leaves, it looks like Hobart's going to be in some pretty good hands. That ball came out of his Tatum's hand clean. He threw a nice fader out there. Looked good.
That was a nice play. There was some pressure, too, but he stood tall in the pocket and was just able to get a good spiral downfield.
Kudos to Highland. You know, you think they're going to just run the clock out and they throw a pass, and the DB was in good coverage there. So kudos to Highland defensive back on the far side. They're playing great.
Empty backfield for Tatum, who's now rolling left, looking to throw. He's tossing this one downfield in the direction of Magana, but he was covered well by Joseph Witham for an incomplete pass, bringing up 4th and 18 from the 26. So Tatum with a couple strikes downfield, wasn't able to connect with the receiver, but some good pass defense by Highland, and that brings out the punt team for Hobart.
Yeah, I mean, he was rolling to the near side here, had to flip his hips and just let it rip, and that was a pretty deep throw there. It's hard when you're rolling out the opposite way that your hand is to get your hips around and throw the football.
And that's when we see players on all kinds of different levels struggle with making that throw, so that's something you just kind of always have to practice, as it never quite gets easier as the punt is down. Taking a good roll, getting inside the 25, and now the Hobart punt team downs it. So that took a fortunate bounce.
I thought Highland could have blocked it if their jet guy would have laid out, dove. I think he might have been able to get there, but it took a nice Hobart bounce there, the punt.
So now it looks like there will be a new signal caller in for Highland. That'll be Joe Serencione, the sophomore quarterback. We have a new running back in with him as well. Justin Slavin, the freshman, in there with him.
I'll tell you what, Highland, the score is 48-0, but they've had some success running between the tackles on offense. When they started to go to the perimeter and try to throw the ball, they haven't had as much success as opposed to just running right at the teeth of the Hobart defense. They've made a lot of mental errors, but outside of that, they've had some success.
So the snap to Serencione, he hands it off to Wilson. Wilson met with a big hit from Weber, but still rumbles forward for a couple yards. Kind of what you're talking about right there, another run between the tackles.
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking about it all night, just having that patience to run between the tackles. But we talked about it at halftime. We talked about it in the pregame. Are they trying to put more stuff on film? So next week, but next week comes, you're just going to do with whatever works. You're going to continue to run next week.
Yeah, we'll see just what the matchup looks like for them, what they end up trying to go with, if they stick to this strategy or try to evolve off of it. And they have a couple running backs in there with Serencione. The Brickies getting ready to try to rush at him. They hand it off to Wilson. Wilson with a nice move, a good burst, gets the first down, and is brought down by a defensive back. It's another Four Seasons Mechanical first down. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com.
Looks like Highland's got a mix of some younger guys out there with some experienced varsity starters, and the big first down for Highland, starting to get a little positive momentum for those young guys out there, which is always good.
Right, Avion Wilson, who we had seen in with the first team at kind of that hybrid receiver running back role, was in on that carry, so he helped out the young signal caller. So now there are a pair of running backs in the backfield joining Serencione. He hands it off, and he'll just rumble forward for a couple yards.
Typically these guys, in games like this, they get a little feel for each other tonight, and they play tomorrow. The JV game usually, they see the same kids that they played last night.
And that kind of serves as a good little warm-up for that. I mean, even if you're facing second stringers, so there's still that varsity speed, that varsity atmosphere. So then when you get in the JV, it was like a pretty good run-through to prepare them for that game. So two running backs join Serencione in the backfield. He's in the gun, two receivers out, one to either side. Just under 5 minutes to go here. It's a handoff. And he stood up, twisted, and brought down by Weber.
Yeah, I just couldn't get anything going there. The Bricky defense was pretty stout. But he fought hard, and he was able to minimize the loss there, and brings up a third down. And we'll see if they're going to let the young guy air it out here. What do you think?
We'll see. I mean, what do you got to lose here? It's a little bit of a lopsided game, fourth quarter. Let them try to sling it a little bit, get a big varsity play. Elijah Robinson on that last carry for the Trojans. Taking their time in the huddle.
Sometimes the huddle is a long play. They're kind of talking, you run here, you run there, you run here.
Drawing it up in the dirt as one running back beside Cerencion. And it's a quick pass out to the receiver.
Nice. And
he pushes forward, getting close to that first down. Did he get it? Joseph with him on the catch and the run.
That looked good. That looked good. Little catch, flip your hips, throw the slant route. That looked good.
Yeah, basically right when he took the snap, he was letting it go. Quick pass, quick release, and a first down.
Yeah, he zinged it in there. Oh, fastball. Little four-seamer.
Well, don't know if he's a baseball player too, but he seemed to have some good velocity on that. So now 2 running backs on either side, keeping that same formation. 3.5 minutes remaining.
Let's see the young guy air it out. I mean, I like the way that looked.
6 seconds on the play clock. Snaps a little low. He hands it off. The running back's going to try to tumble forward. And they get the ball to about midfield. A positive run play. So not quite what you asked for, but still they moved the stick a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about it all game. They've had success running between the tackles. It's just that patience.
So Robinson with another good carry. And, I mean, this is something, too, you got to work on with a young quarterback, making sure he's comfortable delivering these plays in the huddle. So maybe if it takes a little more time, but still he's getting that run through, trying to command that huddle in a game situation and get these plays out. 2.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Cerencion hands it off to his back, who is brought down.
You know, sometimes the backups are they are the T-team players, so they're working the other team's offense during practice. So sometimes they're not getting as many reps of their own offense as they typically would. So, you know, sometimes they do get reps, but, you know, sometimes it's a learning curve and them just getting familiarized with their own offense a little bit.
Yeah, you're trying to be Johnny Sorensen in practice. Now you have to be running your own offense, as that was Ostaic who had the carry there for a positive play. It's 3rd and 6 now from the 50. 2 running backs besides Cerencion. Gets the snap, looking to his right to pass, flings it on over, and it is intercepted. That ball was tipped, and now it's going to be a nice run after the INT. That was Anthony Hanilo with the interception and the run after. That bobbled off the hands of Julius Robledo and was eventually hauled in by the defensive back of the Brickies. So another turnover for the Hobart defense.
Yeah, the teams are celebrating with them. Senior on senior night making a catch or interception. That's those are feel-good stories.
It's one of those moments you always kind of take with you, making that play on your senior night. Like you said earlier, you don't know how many more home games you're going to get after this. So to make a lasting memory like that on your last regular season game at home, that does stay with you for a while. So we're under 60 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Tatum and company looking to run. Might just take a couple of knees here to try to run out the clock.
I think one will do it. That'll be your ball game.
Yep, with
the running clock, that'll end the game.
Yeah, that is all here at the Brickyard. 48-0 Hobart over Highland. And a big win that will move Hobart's record to 7-2 on the season, 5-1 in conference. Highland falls to 3-6, 1-4 on the conference slate.
Now playoffs start. The football begins. The regular season is complete. And now you're playing for keeps. You're playing not to turn your stuff in. You're playing to fight for another Friday night, what some of these kids just long for their entire lives from Pop Warner all the way up. So, the regular season is great and you want to capture a conference title, but now you're playing for keeps. You're playing to fight that another week, and they become each week now becomes special because you don't know if it's your last Monday, your last Tuesday, your last prep night on Thursdays eating with the team. You don't know that, so now the real football starts.
So we'll step aside. When we come back, we'll hand out some hardware. You're watching Game Night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
I'm Tim O'Brien, former Hobart Brickie and Northwestern Wildcat quarterback. When I was playing, I always wanted to be prepared for the unexpected, planning for what might come next. As a certified financial planner with Edward Jones Investments here in Hobart, I pass on that same philosophy to my clients. Planning for the future is important. The same goes for advertising. I plan ahead and turn to the Region Sports Network because they get the job done for me. And I, therefore, put my trust in them, knowing they are the only game in town. And go Brickies!
Ranged at the Clock Tower is a place to gather in downtown Hobart before or after a Brickies win. Whatever meal you are in the mood for, you can find it at Granger's. Owned by a Brickie family, Granger's also offers an aesthetically pleasing indoor setting, along with an outdoor section overlooking the beautiful Lake George. Check out one of Hobart's highest rated restaurants, located at 437 East 3rd Street in Hobart, and they're open 7 days a week. Visit their Facebook page for daily specials and events. Granger's at the Clock Tower. A good time.
Update your kitchen or bathroom with Von Tobel. Get 20% off select cabinets now through October 28th. Von Tobel has cabinets and vanities in a range of styles and colors. Plus, built-in storage, countertops, and flooring. Our designers will help you find the perfect selections for your style and budget. Scan to visit VonTobels.com today to book your free consultation at one of our 4 Indiana showrooms. Von Tobel. Building better together.
Quintel Incorporated is a family-owned and operated company located in Northwest Indiana that specializes in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers. Since 1994, Quintel has been handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country. Equipped with the most modern technology and advanced tools, Quintel provides top-notch service. When you trust Quintel for all your needs, you'll get peace of mind and a finished job that exceeds your expectations. For more info about Quintel and the services they provide, visit quintel-inc.com.
Welcome back to the Brickyard, where we're wrapping things up after Hobart was victorious 48-0 over Highland. It's time to give out some post-game awards. Now for the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game, Crowell Companies have offices open from 9 to 7 throughout Monday through Friday and Saturdays till 2 in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City. The Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game tonight was?
The Crowell Company Lantern Man Superhero of the Game is Max Pickett, the sophomore running back from Hobart. 5 touchdowns tonight, running between the tackles, showed some breakaway speed, just true superhero performance tonight. He had his cape on tonight and dominated 5 touchdowns.
Doesn't get much better than that. As we move on to the next award to hand out, it's time to name the blue-collar player of the game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374.
The blue-collar player of the game is the entire Hobart defense tonight. Just showed up, ready to play on senior night to this home crowd, dominant in all aspects of the game, constant pressure in the backfield. They just played really well all night long, and true gritty performance by that defense in the rain. Just played lights out all night long. So the blue-collar player of the game is the entire Hobart defense.
And now we move into the Proud Union Home Play of the Game, presented by IKRORCC, the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. Build your future. And that play of the game goes to
the 75-yard touchdown run by Max Pickett. I'll tell you what, it was a total team effort on that play. You had wide receivers blocking, Pickett rumbling and stumbling to a 75-yard touchdown run. Just a really great play tonight by Max Pickett on a 75-yard touchdown run. So I'll tell you, that was one of those plays that kind of, happened. It was their 5th score of the game, but it was one of those plays where it kind of was the straw that broke the camel's back, if you will.
So big thank you to everyone involved with tonight's broadcast, for Chris Ramirez, Rich Castillo, Claude Martinez, Jack Thiel, all of our management at Region Sports Network. From Mike Dwyer, Bob Guerrero, running the camera and producing things. Big thanks to the coaches, Pete Kalinos and Craig Osika, athletic directors Ryan Harrington and Mike Black, and to you, the viewers. For my partner Josh Huddleston, this is Leo Stodder thanking you for following along. You've been watching Game Night by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.